comrades, today is May 11, 2026, and the current time is 1917. Due to the impending outbreak of the hentai virus, all comrades are expected to receive their immunization immediately before we begin to sell these through our unofficial channels at an extreme markup. Again, this is mandatory to prevent the outbreak of the hentai virus. That concludes today's announcements.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Oh wait, did I not turn this on? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I thought I did this correctly. Oh boy, the the iPhone is freezing up. That's not a good sign. Give me 1 second, comrades. Hello everyone. How are all of you doing? Hello Kahila and Havel and Fear and Hayashi and Goldenrod and Z-Pulser. Congrats to Z-Pulser for being first today. Oh, I see what's going on. Let me do this real quick. I am a professional streamer who remembers to do things. Okay, to be fair, I was distracted recently. I'm trying to turn my old cell phone into a glorified MP3 player, and I was kind of doing some testing on it earlier today because let's just say I've been looking a lot at MP3 players recently, and I really don't want to spend like $300-400 on one. So I was kind of curious of like, okay, well, will this work? Maybe. And I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of just letting it run on the side. Just to see how much battery I can get out of this thing, because this thing is... When did the Note 9 come out? That's what this phone is, and that's how long this has been around. So I've unplugged it, and I'm going to just basically let it run next to me, playing a song through my headphones, and just see if it's going to, well, function for the next couple hours, basically, and see how much music life I can get out of this thing. Because again, this thing came out in... When did this stupid phone come out? Note 9. The Note 9 came out in 2018, so it's about 8 years old now. I'm genuinely curious if this thing can like hold a charge any longer than it, you know what it's supposed to. Anyways, how are all of you doing? Now that I'm kind of done with that little segue, how about all? Look at this. One of my mods called Research Tree died, but a new mod called Research Tree EA version came out. So apparently it just self-replaced itself. So I'm gonna hope that that's the actual replacement and that nothing is going to break. But knowing me, something's probably gonna break because I have terrible luck. Anyways, how are all of you doing? Also, hello, Lana. Welcome to Rimworld. Hopefully you all had a fun weekend. Did you know I went to go touch grass this past weekend? It's fun. Oh my goodness, going outside and touching grass and flowers and going to see things is actually very enjoyable. Incredibly so. I was actually very pleased with myself. I'm proud of myself for going outside. Also, it was really funny because I went to it's technically a national park, which I did not realize. And what I didn't realize was that they were, well, I knew they were going to charge me for parking, but what ended up happening was they're just like, yeah, you can go in for free, because as soon as I pulled up to go pay for parking, they decided their POS system decided to take a dump, and they were just like, yeah, all right, whatever, come on in, which was very convenient for me. That means I didn't have to pay money. It was fun, even though it was only like 15 bucks anyways, or 16, I think. What's wrong, Kahila? How come you're not having a good couple of weeks? I know you haven't been around for a while, so I assume you've probably just been busy with life or something's going on, but hopefully you'll be okay. Welcome aboard, comrade. It's good to see you again. I know another comrade may have had their Discord account hacked. My understanding is that Normar, if you remember him, apparently his Discord account's been hacked because he apparently was a little too eager about what you might call it, Roblox or cryptocurrency or something, schoolwork and mental adult mix. I hear you. I can't, there's not much I can tell you other than I hope you manage to survive. I know what schoolwork is like. I've been through that. I think a lot of us here have been through the eternal struggle of schoolwork, so I get it. Hope you'll be okay. Also, we got a bunch of items that I don't know where the AI dropped it off. Because we have a hunting zone. We gotta make sure we grab this meat real quick. Did an exam? How bad was the exam? Yeah, but I'll show some photos of stuff I took later. Let's just say I got to see some tanks, because this place has actual, well, it's like the real thing that they just have on museum display, because it is essentially for lack of better words, a war memorial / museum, which I'm not sure how many people really care about that here, if that bothers you, but I'm just letting you know that that's what it was. And it's a fun experience for me to go visit that type of thing. Let's see. You passed out, but you didn't need the stress, and then a classmate calls to ask if you had prepared for another exam, which you didn't even know about. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, honestly, I understand. You just have to just power through it. That's a lot of exams, though. It is. Oh yeah, it is exam season, isn't it? Yeah, I forgot school's about to end. Actually, you know how I found out school was ending for a lot of people? When I was at the... Okay, so essentially, I went to a place that is very pretty and beautiful to take photos at, and apparently a lot of other people decided that they were going to go to the same place and do their graduation photos there, because boy gee howdy, there was a lot of people doing their graduation stuff, and it was interesting to say the least. And we're gonna carve all that out, so hopefully we can get our new hydroponics bay up and running. So today's goal is hydroponics, and we're also gonna do the other quest to... I think there's a quest we were gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna do the geothermal site as well. So we're gonna get ready to go there. I think I'm just gonna teleport to this one instead of like waiting to walk over there, because otherwise it's gonna take too long. That's kind of the other thing. God bless her. I'll say at least you can pretend to prepare. You know what it is for school? Oftentimes, it took me a long time to learn this. Last minute studying doesn't help you that much in the grand scheme of things, unless you're mentally wired to do that. A lot of the times, it's just the overall studying that you do over a long period of time that really is what helps you retain that information. Which I know sucks for any, you know, if you're like very much a crammer type person, which I'm sure there's a lot of people here who are very much the crammer type, but it's the unfortunate reality. You can't just rely on last minute cramming, because I was that student. I was the student who would cram last minute for everything, and you know, it works up to a point, and then eventually it stops working, and then you start, you know, really panicking, and it becomes really not fun. What are we setting up to? 50 components? Yeah, let's do 50. Anyways, you might have noticed we also started moving a lot of stuff out of here, so I'm trying to move things more into this area here, which I believe this one is just raw steel. Most of our steel is still coming from this giant, beautiful thing. Look at this giant drill thingy-mabobber that's making cool things. Now, I probably could have automated this. I'm a little lazy, so I'm not really going to automate this drill. In the meanwhile, we also have our beautiful turrets that are now, hopefully, if I did this correctly, automatically resupplied. And they'll be able to knock out most things that cause problems. And we just got to set the same security system up here, and probably something down here as well, in case the whatever tries to attack us comes in that direction. So that's essentially our current plan for the day. We will send a car out to go deal with that new geothermal plant zone, I think, once we've kind of settled in, and all that stuff as usual. Do you have anything about it? Show up and sign the sheet and leave with your... I mean, like, just give it a shot. You might be surprised to realize how much you actually remember from your classes. Like, legitimately. You would be very surprised to learn how much you can remember, even if you don't think you're gonna remember it. If you start to panic, that's when you lose. You just can't panic. Oh, geez, I thought I had a different screen for this. This is not a very nice screen for change appearance. This used to be way different. Huh. Okay, so what else do I need to do? Do we have enough beds for everyone? We have 20 humans and 19 beds. Okay, so I am short one bed. I need to figure out where I'm gonna cram one more sleeping pod in this place, I guess, without having to add more sleeping positions, because not a lot of space here is kind of the problem. I could probably add one more over here, although they're all going to share one bathroom. Oh, there's not enough water capacity. Okay. I think I forgot to run pipes throughout this whole thing, too. Let's also do that real quick. Ah, you know what? There's the problem. So I built this water tower, right? I kind of forgot to hook it up to the main water grid. Wouldn't that be a bit of a problem? So let's do that real fast. Also, I need to turn on that. Let's try. First thing, do a safety inspector in case of emergency. Stay calm. Exactly. Stay calm, and you might be fine. Anyways, you might have noticed on the schedule, I have decided to can XCOM 2. OCOM the season 3 is I've chosen to can it. I'll be honest, I think at some point the difficulty was just ramping up way faster than I was anticipating, and I wasn't having as much fun anymore. Now, granted, I could probably just lower the difficulty and I'd be fine, but then that's giving up and being a coward, so I didn't want to do that. So that's why I think I've just decided to kind of, at least for now, I'm gonna fridge it. Maybe in the future we can revisit it, but for the time being, it's just pretend that OCOM Season 3 has been terminated. I think ultimately it's better for me. It's good for me to not go insane. Yeah, let's use that as my logic, and it's totally not copium in any way whatsoever of my own failings. It's a very difficult game, you know. XCOM's hard. It's a tough game. All right, this is probably not a very efficient setup, but this should be fine. I don't need it to be efficient, I just want it to look pretty. And then I'm going to, I think, just grab a bunch of the generic heaters, because these are usually fine enough for this situation. We're going to run power down here as well, because, again, we have a lot of fine comrades. You have to support this action, but you're also obligated to point out that I don't need to consider turning down difficulties cowardice, not running away from the game entirely. Well, you know what? It's, running away from the game is completely different from, lowering the difficulty. Because I can at least, it's called withdrawing with honor. That's what I'm going to call it. I am withdrawing from the game with my honor intact. And that is totally not a ridiculous form of copium. Exactly. I mean, to be fair, it was fun up to a point. I think it's just like, I think for me, and I'm having this issue with Xenonauts 2 at the same time. A lot of times it feels like I'm not fighting the aliens. And oftentimes it feels like I'm fighting the game, where a lot of these modders, well, in the case of XCOM 2, I know it's a difficulty mod that I had installed, but a lot of those difficulty mods seem to just be, for lack of better words, infuriating for the sake of being infuriating, and that's kind of like what drove me insane. And I was not having much fun with that. I have to grab something real quick. I forgot to charge my headset. And so that's kind of like my biggest gripe with a lot of like strategy games, where it's like if I'm fighting the game mechanics and not the game itself, then it stops being fun. And Xenonauts 2 is kind of in a similar boat right now, although I'm kind of determined to finish Xenonauts 2. So yeah, like, okay, damage sponging, I'm actually okay. I'm kind of okay with damage sponging. Like if you give an enemy like 5 more billion HP, as long as there's ways to tackle that HP bar, whatever. And I'm not just talking about the basic attack, but I mean like you can use ways to make them take extra damage, or there's a weakness that you can exploit. Things like that are fine. I would say BS mechanics are like, this thing gets a free action, like when it completely breaks action economy and game economy for the sake of difficulty. And like that was my biggest annoyance with the purple enemies, is that you shoot them and then they just get to shoot you back for free for some reason. And it's just like, unless you do a specific, you know, countermeasure against them. And because of the way XCOM 2's kind of works, and like all the different mod effects are different, like it says it may say, you know, if it's on fire it can't do a thing, but then you set it with the wrong kind of fire and it's still going to be able to do the thing. Poison, I think, is the biggest example of this, where it's just like, if this thing's poisoned it cannot do thing. But there's like 3 different types of poison. You got the normal you got like toxin poison, you got like the chrysalid poison, you got like all these other ones, and that's kind of like the thing that like annoyed the ever-loving Jesus out of me. If a Hedge's quest, it tries to slay this fire but doesn't like slay this Fire Emblem mechanics. Hedge's quest. I've tried to play some Fire Emblem ROM hacks that were like that. I remember playing there was like one that was like a very much a roguelike experience, where you had like, you know, if a character dies you expect them to die. Maybe I'll give this Hedge's quest a run. Maybe I'll download it onto my Miu or something. Okay, and then for Xenonauts 2, my biggest gripe is that a lot of the mechanics are just obtuse and they don't make any bloody sense unless you have like a deep understanding of the game mechanics. Like, it's just not clear. I think the biggest example is, what is Overwatch? Now, I know there's a tutorial, and I read the tutorial, and I tried to understand it, but it still doesn't make it. Like, it's just generally, as long as you have time units at the end of your turn, you can overwatch. But it's like, how do you overwatch? It's like, apparently, okay, the enemy that triggers the overwatch gets to do their action first, but then sometimes it feels like, no, if it's you just get to overwatch before they get to take their action. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. The aliens get to do it, and you can't tell if the aliens aren't Overwatch. You just have to assume that they are all the time. And it's kind of like the thing that like bothers me. It's like, you don't know. XCOM 2 works really good for Overwatch because it's like, you know, there's very clear indicators. This thing is on Overwatch. This thing is going to do things. Xenonauts doesn't have that. Xenonauts, you just have to like think and like, I guess, use logic, which, you know, fine. That's the game design they want to go for. But for me, I look at these games like almost a board game, and you need to have clear you need to have clear indicators of what the heck is happening, or else the player is going to make bad decisions, and they're not going to get frustrated at the, you know, at their own mistakes. They're going to get them frustrated at the game. And that's like my thing with some of these design choices. It's not to say Xenonauts is a bad game. I think it's actually pretty fun, but there are times where I'm just like, what in the world is happening? You know what I mean? Oh, that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to like disparage XCOM. Like, I did enjoy XCOM, and I do like XCOM 2, and I'd rather have XCOM 3 at this point. But there comes a point where you look at the mechanics and you're like, who designed this? Why? And I think you remember last week when we were playing, the friendly fire just made zero fucking sense. I was going crazy. Like, it just made no sense. I'd be playing, and then I'd shoot at a thing, I'd miss, and then the bullet would just completely like, what was that one movie? It just like curved the bullet over to Havel and then instantly killed Havel for some reason. And that made zero sense to me. And that's why I was super mad, or like super annoyed last time. Because like the more I played, the more I was like, this just makes no sense. I don't know what's happening anymore. Oh, they did actually update. Whoa, there's a research tree for anomaly now. That's kind of sick, actually. Okay, cool. So this is the new, what's it called? This is the new research tree mod. And it actually looks kinda nice. I actually, oh well, hold on. You can show complete and incomplete. Oh, actually this loads way faster than the old one. This is way better. I like this. This is very nice. Let's add industrial scale pumps and heavy artillery. Maybe we don't need heavy artillery. I definitely want fire suppression and let's see. Could do glitter world implants. Automated repair would be kind of nice, but not really necessary for this run. I think we'll do some. I'll just grab whatever. Maybe autism. Yep. Yeah, go for it. What are you gonna talk about for Fire Emblem design? Unexplained terms are, yeah, unexplained terms are definitely super annoying, and that's kind of like my biggest thing. You know what? As much as I disparage Fire Emblem heroes for their Yu-Gi-Oh text level abilities in a mobile game, at the very least they explain every tag right there, so you don't have to memorize it. Which is, if you're an experienced player, you hate it, and it really should be a toggle that says turn off detailed explanation or turn on detailed explanation. Because have you seen, have I talked about this before? I'm gonna show it again just because in case you need an example of what I'm talking about. Fire Emblem heroes ability text, because it's quite a thing to behold. Like, you've never seen this. It's like these skill descriptors are insane. Like, I remember seeing one where it's like the ability just goes completely off the screen and just makes no sense. And it really is an art form. Like, God, like, look at this thing. Like, why does it have to take the entire screen? Oh shoot, there's a moose that's angry at us. It's probably dead now. It's dead. Right, and that's the thing that, like, it doesn't really make sense. But like, the more you read this, you understand, oh, okay, this is the only part that matters. Everything else here is just explaining the specifics of how this bonus operates, right? And you could probably just ignore this. Like, all this is like, okay, if you do a thing, you get Gale Force, you get a bonus, and you get Kanto because you're a mounted unit. And then this explains what's a bonus, how do you get Kanto, what does the bonus do again, and how does your special Kanto version. That's so, like, okay, at least they explain it in detail, fine. That's kind of like my gripe. It's like, at least that one explains it more than some other games. Yeah, it's like reading the card explains the card. Exactly. You don't like when units and ROM hacks have more than 30% on both defensive stats. It makes it unclear if you need the defense resistance to be high because you're on the middle and let enemy kill itself on the enemy turns, or B, the enemy or so can't you need amount of defense to have a chance, and if you don't, you get a +1 defense. You gotta reset. I know exactly what you're talking about because a lot of Fire Emblem ROM hacks. We gotta remember this. Fire Emblem ROM hacks are designed by people who are generally experts at Fire Emblem, but they're not necessarily experts at game design. Like, the reason why, like, a lot of the Fire Emblem games are generally well beloved, at least, is because they have pretty good game design choices, especially when it comes to balancing. Fire Emblem ROM hackers, and I'm not an exception to this. When I used to do ROM hacking, let's just say some of the character stat lines I designed were a little whack. I had my main character, the Lord unit, essentially have like a plus, I don't remember, 30? No, it was like a, they were destined to basically break the limit for luck. I think they were gonna hit like 41 luck with their character unique weapon. And you know, it's because a lot of times people like want to do something cool, try something that's different, when you don't necessarily have a fun understanding of the fundamentals of why certain choices in Fire Emblem are made the way they are. Does that make sense? Like, I love Fire Emblem ROM hacks. A lot of them are pretty good, but then a lot of them are just they need help. Like, to be fair though, like, putting together a Fire Emblem ROM hack is actually incredibly difficult, and it is kind of amazing to see it when it happens. A lot of people may not know this, but there used to be a time where Fire Emblem ROM hacks like were just non-existent, and the first one that like really became popular in the West was this one called Fire Emblem: The Last Promise, and it was absolutely amazing how well it was designed because, well, let me rephrase. It was really poorly designed balance-wise, but it was really cool because it was the first one we've ever seen in the West. But it also had a lot of edgelord characters, a lot of tropes and everything, so you take the good with the bad, but for the most part, it was kind of like a pioneer in the genre. You know, you don't have space to talk about how you designed both Hannah and Caprice, but still they are at least unique flavor-wise. I liked Hannah, because she was like the mage, right? Yeah. I don't think we ever got around to using Caprice because I never did that run, unfortunately. And sometimes they're designed intentionally like Zane and Joshua. Yeah, it kind of depends. Like, I think Fire Emblem... God, I will say, though, I'm not terribly fond of modern Fire Emblem. I think Fire Emblem game design's also kind of like had a massive shift in the direction where they want it to go. In the previous games, a lot of the side characters that you recruit in Fire Emblem ultimately don't matter in the grand scheme of the plot line, and they're primarily there to add additional context and story to the overall plot, but they are not core to the central overarching plot, right? They just add extra detail and extra information to the story. But I think a lot of modern Fire Emblem is like, if your character dies, you lose out on so much content, to the point where it's like, you know, you might not, you'll still be able to complete the game, but you're just like gonna lose a lot of like content, especially on if you're only playing a game once, you can't let anyone die because you're gonna lose so much of the like story, right? They actually have like full fleshed out stories and backstories and all that. I mean, not to say they didn't in the previous games, but they were very much relegated to like very minuscule side stories that you only understand through support chains. But in modern ones, it's like, if you lose this character, you just straight up lose access to this really cool rare weapon that you can never ever get again. And it's things like that that are a little, you know, it's definitely a choice. And that's kind of like my gripe. And also, modern Fire Emblem has leaned way hard in the waifu emblem route, which oh shoot, Bashi, I didn't realize we untamed Bashi. I'm just gonna change that real quick. I'm sorry, Bashi, you should be permanently tamed. How do I retame you? Because I don't feel like manually doing this. It turns out training a Great Wolf might be a little difficult when you don't really have anyone on animal duty. Yeah, alright, we're gonna make Hayashi, you're now prioritizing taking care of Bashi. Oh, I forgot to turn on the thing. Hi, Marksman. Let me turn on the bot. There you go. Anyways, yeah. That's kind of like my thing with modern Fire Emblem. Modern Fire Emblem is very much waifu-centric and husbando-centric, versus the older ones where it's like, war stories and, you know, dramatic dramatic events that happen. Like, I still think Fire Emblem 4 is like peak Fire Emblem writing, and then you have things like Fire Emblem, you know, and then you have like the good and the bad. Like, I really enjoy the gameplay of Fire Emblem Fates, but then if you ever look at Fire Emblem Fates, you're like, this is a game that exists for some reason. It sure is a game that exists and is probably not really a good game, but you know what? It tries, and you know what? That's acceptable. All right, we're gonna grow some. What do I want to grow here? I want to grow some. I should have an idea. Let's take this stack here, and we're gonna have these grow cotton. And we're gonna have the bottom half here grow. I think some tea is probably correct. I think we ran out of tea. We should probably grow some tea. You hate how they put a lot of interesting lore in the DLC for 3 houses, like the church fans. Oh, exactly. Yeah, I hated that too. Like, it didn't really make sense. Like, why is this where all the super rare lore is getting dumped in? A lot of RPGs do this, and it's super annoying. Where it's like, you want to know the real secrets? Buy the rare DLC that's going to cost you extra money. And it's like, I don't want to pay more money for DLC. Just let me do the thing. You said if you have personal, Hana would have had VS7 Might, Anima, Nosferatu. You know, like a priest dude or a luck boon and resistance, you might as well be full glass can't have a personal devil lance. Okay, but having personal devil lance is funny. It's very much a risk, but it is funny if you do it. So I promise I'll play the game at some point. I just want to keep yapping for like the next god knows how long about Fire Emblem, because it's still a genre that I love, but just some of the choices made by these people at Nintendo bother me. I still can't, like, some of the new ones I guess have decent plots, but I also just can't be bothered anymore, I think, to play some of the newer ones. I know there's that new one coming out soon for Switch 2 that's like a prequel to Three Houses, which is great, and I'm glad that they're finding a new thing that they want to, you know, use as their, you know, headliner Fire Emblem. But I kind of wish that they would go back to like the older Fire Emblem instead of like the whole crests and whatnot. Yeah, you're gonna eat your rice. All right, enjoy your rice. Hopefully the rice is good. Are you putting anything on it? Oh, did you see the Switch 2 is getting a price increase? They're cranking that stuff up by like another $50. I think right now the price is like $450. Now it's gonna be like $500 starting in September is the MSRP. So it's if you were looking for a Switch 2, you better get on it. I don't know. Realistically, I probably should get my hands on a Switch 2, but at the same time, I don't want to spend money. So I may just give up and be like, and just, you know, call it a wash. I do like some of the stuff Nintendo puts out, but I also don't want to spend Nintendo prices on games. Like, I never got around to playing Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or whatever else cool games that they might have come out with at some point, just because I don't want to spend money. The biggest deterrent for Nintendo getting my hard-earned, you know, funny bucks is the fact that they just will not make their games on sale. So that's why. Are we actually able to grow? Okay, it's 4 degrees. I think we need another heater. I think I gotta put like a second heater in each of these. That's probably fine. Yeah, like I know Tomodachi Life got a Switch version too. At least that's what Neto was telling me, which was like a surprising part. I was like, I thought it was just strictly Switch 2, but she's like, no, it's on the Switch 1. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, here's my hope. I am going to have my Fire Emblem 3 hope and say that if it comes out, if someone invents a way to play it on non-official hardware by that point, that would be very interesting. Also, hi Zoingo, how are you? Also, you didn't hear me say that because I'm not legally allowed to say that, I think. So you didn't hear nothing from me. All right, you heard nothing from me just now. Mm-hmm. Can I? Oh, we should probably grow that Tinctintor or whatever the dye thingy is. Oh, whatever. I know Ray's got a Switch too, and she's used it. I remember she traded in her like OLED's her OLED Switch for it, and still had to pay like some money for it. But you know what? Technically, if you have a Switch 2, you can just play whatever you want on the Switch 1. I can't trade in my Switch 1 because what's the point? My Switch 1 has like a broken headphone jack. Actually, you know what's crazy? Okay, so I'm gonna segue into a completely different topic real quick. I just want to point out, like, I did not realize how popular independent, like the era of MP3 players seems to be encroaching back upon us, which is hilarious. Doing work was fine. I think you'll call it close. Yeah, if you need some rest, just come in here and relax. Also, how are you doing, Zinfadaven's son? Yeah, the era of MP3 players seems to be like returning, which is like the most interesting thing I've discovered recently. I'm a little late to the party, but I know Apple iPods, like the original iPods, you can get a refurbished one, but they're not like $100 like you would expect. No, a refurbished iPod Classic is like $300. Like $200 to $300 for a refurbished iPod Classic, and even more if you want to add like a expanded hard drive that's no longer a, you know, a hard, like a disk drive. It's now a like flash memory, and it's so interesting. So I've been like watching so many YouTube videos on like these portable MP3 players. And I'm like, man, I kind of want one now, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to spend money. So I have my my old cell phone, which was a Note 9, and I have it next to me right now. And it is literally just playing music, like some albums that I liked, and I'm just testing to see how long the battery will last if I just keep having it play music, screen on or screen off. And if it lasts long enough, I've turned off all the network things, then I might just be carrying like two phones now. One is just stripped down to the bare bones and is just strictly for music, and then I'll have my actual phone that I actually take around to do things. But I don't know, we'll see. It's kind of cumbersome to carry it, but maybe it'll be fine. Am I getting a Switch 1 from a online friend that's getting a 2? Ooh, okay, so you're gonna buy it from them? That'll be nice. You save money, and that's what matters. You're saving big money, just like people save big money at Menards. Oh wait, no one's gonna get that joke. That's like a very Midwestern specific joke. Never mind. Okay, let's put one of these bad boys here. How's the rage quit? Listen, I had no choice. The game was driving me crazy. I had to stop before I lost my sanity. I hope you understand. I wanted to... as fun as it would have been, I could not. Okay. Where's photography now? iPhones? Okay, like, the thing is, like, I actually do like photography. Like, one thing about taking up photography that I think has been a huge positive in my life is that I'm willing to go outside a lot more and just do things instead of just being a NEET and staying inside of my house the whole time. And I think that's kind of nice, just like having that option of just going outside and exploring and all that. Like, I'll show you some photos that I took recently. I actually went to a place in my area that is... It is technically both a war museum and a war memorial at the same time. Pulling up the pictures, I have to figure out which hard drive I dumped it into. Okay, I'm gonna show them on screen. I'm only gonna show them on the regular one, not the vertical stream. So if you're watching it on vertical for some reason, you're not gonna be able to see this. So, here's a tank. Oops, hold on. Yeah, there's a lot of tanks on display, and these are real tanks that have been... No, I still have the vertical stream turned on, I think. And so you have like... I am terrible at remembering like what the actual tank models are, so just keep that in mind. And it was very fun just going around and taking photos. Essentially, it's a park that's dedicated to the 1st Division, and so you'll see a lot of like branding of the 1st Division and all that stuff. But it was kind of cool just like walking around and seeing the tanks. I took a lot of other photos. I don't have them in this folder right now that I'm showing you, going through. But it was very interesting learning the history and just kind of taking photos. I actually used to go here as a kid, but it's been a long time, so it was my first time here as an adult with a camera and money, so I could actually take photos and stuff. So you can actually climb on top of these, which a lot of families, you know, their kids come by and they start climbing on the tanks, and it's all a grand time. But I was using this as an opportunity to like practice my, you know, framing of photos and like, you know, how I'm gonna take the shots and all that stuff. So yeah, you get some photos like this one where it's like kind of that dramatic look. Although the sky's a little darker than I would like, but I thought it was kind of nice. And you also have like a lot of statues that are kind of like memorial statues and all that. So it was pretty interesting. They also happen to have an exhibit at the same time. That was the 80th D-Day anniversary, which I'm like, I feel like D-Day might have been, you know, it might be a couple years late. But what do I know? So there was like this one that I took on, like, you know, on the bottom of a hill. These photos are way darker, I think, on my screen for some reason than I remember them being. And then you've got some pretty flowers, or, you know, I'm trying to use different recipes. If you don't remember, I'm using a Fujifilm camera, so you can do like all these camera recipes, which are basically like filters that you can use to manipulate color score like right on the camera instead of having to do it on, you know, instead of having to do it on like a post-processing on a separate software like Lightroom. You've also got ones like this one, which I really liked. Oh man, I think my biggest problem when I'm taking photos is I do not have a lot of good subjects. And so I'm often just trying to find something that's interesting to take a photo of, even if it's a simple flower like this one, you know, and trying to... Oh, I will say, I don't know if you can notice this, but this lens that I use has a very, very weird bokeh. So if you look in the back, you can see like the flower, like the plants start to swirl a little bit, and I have no idea why that's so prominent on some of these photos where I have the f-stop all the way down to like f-point, you know, 2.8. Which, if you don't know what that means, it just basically means I have the shutter open all the way. And there's this one too, which was really nice. You can also see a little bit of that swirling around the center, which is super weird. And it just kind of throws me off. It's a little odd. More statues, lots of flowers, and then you've got, you know, this one I thought was kind of like weird, like just weirdly just... Oh wait, hold on, not this one. This one here. Like, I really liked this shot for some reason. It's not a very interesting subject, but I thought the leading lines all the way down the center was just kind of pretty to look at. And so I was like, all right, sure, why not? And then here's one thing that's a little odd. I am a sucker for this this photo crop, I guess is the best way to describe it. So I'm gonna just give you a little bit of camera history real quick. So in the I think it was it the 90s? Let me double check real quick. Let me double check, make sure I am giving you the correct words real fast. Okay. So there's a camera format back in the day of film cameras called X-Pan, and it is a beautiful like landscape cinematic look, and that's what I tried to do here. Now, I don't have an X-Pan camera because they're like $6,000 for a camera that was made in the 90s. You know what makes it special? Basically, it took an extra wide shot using twice the space on a roll of film. So on a roll of film, which we consider like 35mm for full frame, you would get one shot per exposure. Now imagine your camera took 2 exposures, I guess, at the same... I'm trying to figure out a way to describe this. I'm probably describing this wrong. You know, at the same time to get you an extra wide shot like this. And that's kind of what I try to do here. I just had to crop it because my camera doesn't actually have a built-in crop for this. But it kind of requires you to think about a different way of approaching the photo and, like, you know, what's the word I'm thinking of? Framing it or figuring out your crop. It's a very fun format that I really want to try using a lot more. Even though I don't really have a camera that can support such a thing. You know, it's doing its best, but you can only do so much with 24 megapixels of, you know, resolution. The high-end Fujifilm cameras and high-end, like, Hasselblads will have an X-Pan setting on there, but really it's just cropping it down from, like, a 3.2 down to, like, 65/24. I hope the words I'm saying make sense to you. If not, please feel free to raise your hand, and I will do my best to explain it, because I know I'm yapping about something that it's like, you know how some people have, like, those weird obsessions at any given time? That's kind of my current obsession at this current given time. So if you need me to explain it a little more, just, you know, feel free to stop me and I'll do my best. Because I do find photography to be a very interesting subject. I think photography is fun, it's exciting, and again, it just lets me go outside and at least explore different things instead of just being cooped up inside and playing video games the whole time, which I would probably be doing if I wasn't going outside. Ow, my neck hurts. Ow. So, yeah. Photography. Cool stuff. You can afford it. Oh, we gotta get these rocks out of here. These slate chunks out of here. Okay, I'm just making sure, because again, I'm hoping that it makes sense. So, maybe in the far-flung future, I will be able to afford such a very cool camera, but that's a very, very tall order. I would like to afford one of those one day, but that would require me to have a more $1 billion that I do not have. And so, it is one of those things that is relegated simply to a dream. Maybe one day in the future, but for now, but a dream. Oh my gosh, let me drink my water. I yapped for like 40 minutes straight about stupid things again. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, so video games too. What was I going to talk about besides that? You'd offer unless I use E-mount. I use X-mount. So yeah, I've been using a fixed 27mm prime, which on an ASPC frame is equivalent to like a 40mm on full frame, which I probably will just end up like, I already know what lens I want to buy next. I'm just kind of waiting. I heard through the grapevine they might be making they're like, Fuji's supposed to be releasing a new set of lenses soon, so I'm like, do I just wait for the new ones and just buy the new ones, or do I just buy something now? So I'm just kind of like in the I'll just wait and see period, because lenses are expensive and I don't really want to spend money because I'm a cheapo. That's the eternal struggle. Okay, what else do we need to do next? Okay, so we got the other bedroom, so at least whoever's in here can stay toasty. That's good. Just want to make sure they have a... Oh shoot, it's not hooked up. Alright, we gotta run the heating pipes in here. There we go. Just do that, and that should be fine. So yeah, so basically my experience has been with like either a Canon, like an old DSLR Canon, and Fuji. I'm not gonna lie, I might have been influenced by social media to get a Fuji film, because the aesthetic was absolutely wonderful. I loved the idea of the film simulation, so I don't have to do as much post-processing to just have an immediately usable photo. And that's kind of why I went kind of deep in on Fuji. So that's kind of the thing. Like, if you like it, for me, the retro aesthetic of it, and I love having all the dials, like physical dials for exposure, shutter speed, ISO. It just feels wonderful, and it's a hefty it's a hefty boy. And this is like, apparently the XT2 was the last line, or the last of the line that was made in Japan. All the newer ones are basically made in China. Although I heard they have to make the new XT5s in Japan again because the tariffs basically made them too expensive to import into the US. So they're like, all right, I guess we're back to making them in America. So it's kind of interesting to see just where it goes. But yes, I like the Fuji. I think if you're using it for professional work, you probably don't want to. But if you're just like a casual shooter, which I am, then I think Fuji is probably the correct choice. And I think a lot of other people would also agree that if you're very much just a casual shooter, then you probably are fine with like a Fuji film and not anything else. And honestly, for me, I enjoy the weight. I think for me, weight of the device helps a lot with making it feel real instead of like the super light ones, which I know Fuji also makes a lot of light cameras, but I didn't want any of them. So, all right, so at least we're growing all this other stuff now, right? Yes, we're waiting for the tea to grow. I need to get these rocks out of the way because this room is getting cold and I don't know why. What is this, slate? I don't know why this thing doesn't work half the time. Like, it knows there's slate in there, but it doesn't want to make it. That's like the weird thing. It's super odd. I don't know why it's... Maybe... Oh, you know what? I bet it's because it's treating some of the items in the back tiles and not in the ones that's right next to it. That's probably what's actually happening. Yeah, I bet that's actually what's happening. Okay. Yeah, that's super odd. But at least I know what's going on. What I need to do is actually replace this with like a small crate instead of the big one. But hopefully we can just get this door closed so we can finally get some heat in here. Okay, so then we gotta get this one. So we need 2 UAVs, 1 AI chip, and 3 components. Okay. So 2 UAVs, 1 AI chip, and 1 machine frame, I think? Something like this. Probably fine. Oh yeah, no, I'm probably just gonna be doing 2 lenses in the future, which is like 1 prime and then one zoomy boy, and call it a day. So that's probably my plan with La Camera stuff. Anyways, photography, fun times. Also, I forgot to answer the question about it today as well. When are they bringing back CDs? I don't know. Like, I think CDs are still popular. I think CDs kind of died out a little bit when buying music became super easy. With what's it called? With things like Apple Music back in the day, right? And iTunes. But I think CDs are regaining a bit of popularity, especially, and they also died super bad when what's it called was getting popular, Spotify. But I think there's a desire for physical media again, to the point where you probably will be able to get more CDs of your, like, because it's physical media is kind of a way to show off your support for a band or a group you might like. So I could definitely see, you know, physical media making a return in prominence, and I think it'll be kind of nice when it does. Okay, let's rescue you real fast. These bugs made it out. Let's see. Ray has a gun. Your back goes chicken fried rice with lentils, corn, and carrots. That sounds pretty good, actually. I'm going to assume it was very delicious based on the way you're describing it. All right, let's go kill these poor things. Let's go finish this off. Hope no one ever minds that these Rimworld streams just end up being glorified just chatting of some random topic that I'm currently obsessed with. Alright, we killed all the bugs. Great, let's kill this mega spider and this other mega spider, and that should be fine. And then these are all dead, so not too bad. These, I really like these heavy auto turrets. I don't know why we're manually refilling them, though. Do they only refill? Yeah, I don't know why these aren't auto refilling. Unless I'm missing something. Or does it only refill when it's empty? Oh, you know, it might only refill when it's empty. That might be the case, actually. Oh shoot, all of our neutral flowers rotting. I need someone to start making drugs. I think we had like 1 person that was capable of manufacturing the large quantity of drugs that we need, so we're gonna send, I think it's Sun. Yeah, Sun's gonna have to start making large quantities of funny pills to ensure our long-term survival. Let's keep doing this real fast. I think this is the correct way to do it. That should probably make this function the way it's supposed to. So, anyways, yeah. Also, I think I'm gonna get this Rimworld run like maybe another 3-4 weeks. I think by the end of the month we're just gonna be done with it. I think we've kind of reached the end of what I'm willing to deal with in this run. I'm gonna grab Ray, and we're gonna grab your name, and we're gonna have them go on a little adventure that I'm gonna teleport them to, because I think last time I got cheated out of my quest reward, so I'm not gonna let that happen again. We're gonna cheese this a little bit. All right, so first and foremost, let's reload the tank. Save the game. Go to world map. All right, because the main issue is that we need to go from here. Sochirushi, it's fine. They have food in stock. Also take a bunch of the soup, maybe like another 10. Okay. And they are trying to go all the way around to the other side of the map. There is a specific point. Where'd it go? Okay, shoot, I don't remember where it is. Could have sworn it was up here. Where'd it go? Over here, okay. So that would be a 22-day drive, but because I got cheated at last time, we're gonna cheat the game as well. We're gonna send them over there, and as soon as they hop out, we're just gonna God mode over there because I am not dealing with this nonsense. Listen, they should have made it there before, but then they got cheated, so approach instantly. Let's go deal with this thing. Oh, all right. Okay, so there's a bunch of dudes probably protecting it. They probably will freeze to death soon, is my guess, because they're probably not wearing comfortable winter gear. Oh, they are actually. Let's do this real fast. Let's go deal with this thing. Hello, Interest. How are you, comrade? Whoa. Look at that. A raid. How are you doing, comrade? That was your Rimworld. I saw that you were playing Rimworld. Hopefully your Rimworld adventures are going well and not pure suffering. Let me do the... what did you do to your map? Oh, so we're playing on a winter world. So I basically cranked global temperature all the way down. So it is basically a frozen tundra everywhere we go. There is no growable area because it's supposed to be like Frostpunk. It's also a permanent ice age, which is a whole different problem. So lots of shenanigans. Thank you for whoever did the shout out. How are you doing though? Yeah, we're trying to learn the secrets of the reactors so that we can, you know, do things. We're just trying to slowly make our way over there, and we're gonna start blasting these goobers to death, and then we're gonna steal access to this thing. There we go. So we can just probably stop moving here, and then we'll just sit here and just let them gun it down. You need to run, but you also have tried climate cycle puzzles. I have not, but I'll take a look at that. Thank you for the raid, though. Hopefully you enjoy your relaxation or whatever it is that you need to do. Get some food or whatever you need. You know the drill. Every streamer knows the drill. All right, let's kill the next one. Just gun down these goobers. The one named Harry, he's next. There we go. Or Hillary, I'm sorry. All right. Ooh, actually, this APC's in the way. I guess we're gonna try to keep holding us back. Let's push up a little bit. We're looking at this. Okay, yeah. See, that's what I would have liked. I didn't realize that was a thing, but I was looking for a mod that would have done that. I wish I had known that earlier. Unfortunately, I did not, but now I know. Okay, this one named Scarlet's kind of annoying. We lost our back right drive spot, which is also annoying. This guy's still alive. Can I kill him? Is he out of bullets? Oh wait, is this one out of rounds? Oh, he is out of bullets. That's interesting. I think the other one might be out of bullets too. I think we just win. Oh, we gotta still kill him though. He is surprisingly in a spot where it's very hard to kill him. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, I'll take a look. I appreciate the suggestion. That would have been really good for this run as it steadily got colder. Okay. All right, we win. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna, first of all, let's quickly hop out. And then we're gonna strip all the ones that had power armor, because I would like to take that back with me. So we're gonna strip you, and strip you. You wanna relearn Rimworld Magic to take a long break? Okay. How was that so far? I've never used Rimworld Magic myself, so it's not something that ever really interested me, but I'm glad you're having fun with it. Strip this guy too. He might have something of note. Unfortunately, we killed all the other guys that had nice armor. Look at this one. He's trying to survive. All right, so we're gonna have Ray study this geothermal arc, and then after this is done, we can start making the arc ourselves. We'll also start destroying everything real quick. So might as well strip it down for resources. You deconstruct, deconstruct, deconstruct. Get rid of the arc junk as well. Okay, so that'll get us some parts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and probably this one as well. It's been fairly fun. You don't expect much difficulty pursuing the mechs. Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, I think Rimworld of Magic is a little strong, so it would make sense that you'd at least be able to, you know, be a little overpowered. Using the ancient magics that once coursed through the realm. Okay, so good. So now we can deconstruct this thing. And let's get on out of here. Okay, so we're gonna now load this thing up. So let's load in all this. Maybe not the steel. What else do I need? The recon armor. Take a free shield belt. Take a vest. And then these two should be able to hop on in. And we're out of here. I don't think I really care about getting the rest of this. Doesn't really matter. We got the things I care about. Alright. Let's go back to the world map. I don't know where they are. I don't know why some of my tiles are broken. I'm not going to question it. Okay, so we're going to reform. Grab that. I could take these guys, but I don't know if we can even fit them. I guess we can. Do we want to capture prisoners? Is it worth it? We don't even have a jail. No, it's not worth it. We'll let them... No, I guess we are technically here to keep humanity alive. I guess we'll rescue them. All right. And then we're going to send them back here. Okay. All right, now that quest is over, because again, we got cheated last time, so that's why we're cheating it a little bit. Okay, so... You know, I just realized we might have a problem in the sense that I don't actually have a way to, I don't have a way to, like, keep these guys alive. So I think they actually will die. Oh, yeah, they're, oh, shoot, I accidentally ran one of them over. Well, I guess we'll try, but I just realized, yeah, there's not really... Alright, how about this? Why don't we zone this room temporarily as a prisoner room. And let's see if we can go capture them. At least the two of these. Alright. Then we'll figure out what to do with them in a bit. I just realized that I just ran over one of them. Oh, that one's dead. Is this one gonna die? Hypothermia? Yes, okay, never mind. They all died. Alright. Sounds about right. Whoops. We all make mistakes. Also, I forgot to answer. What were you gonna talk about, Kahila, for your strategy game stuff? Okay, let's get these guys back there. This thing is nice, but it does move super slow. This thing has all the upgrades that it needs, right? I guess we could add armored treads, I guess is fine. Improve the armor by covering them in steel plating. Sure, why not? Okay. Let's build the rest of this out. So I need to dig out... So what saying? Oh, I was asking, what was the thing that you were going to talk about? You were going to talk about strategy games, and I have no idea what it was. Construct that, okay. I just hope we don't run into any more mechs. I'm so sick and tired of running into mechs. They're not fun. Mechs are no good. Okay. Here we go. We parked. All right. Close this. And then we're going to turn off, unload. Okay. Unload all the cargo. A lot of food, bullets, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so now we have that. Okay, so who's getting recon armor? We're gonna give Ray one of the recon armors. And I think Havel's the other melee beater who probably needs... Havel's already got one. I'll give it to Zeoposer. Zeoposer's in the front lines a lot. Said.io. Oh, Conquer.io. Is it a game that you've been playing? What I expect was too cold for humans. I expected maybe they could survive for like 5 more minutes until they arrived into the base, but I guess I didn't expect too much. I called, yes, I'm giving you armor. You now have recon armor. Well, at least the body part, not the helmet. So you'll at least survive the worst of the worst. Okay, we're gonna make this a nice colonist bed now. Conquer.io. Alright, I'm gonna look this up real quick. Yeah, you gotta be a little careful. Like, YouTube doesn't like links. I know Twitch is fine with links. Oh, okay. I think I've seen a YouTube video about this. I'll take a look at it at some point. Yeah. I do like my Hex games. I used to play some similar ones, like, that were on Android for, like, the longest time, but it's been quite some time. Right, give me 1 second. Okay, so this is actually playing perfectly fine. So I think realistically, I could probably use this phone as my MP3 player now. Okay. That's super janky, but it's funny. 1 second. I just need to check something. Okay. Okay, anyways. You'll hopefully not die. I'm gonna do my best to keep you alive, okay, just because you're Well, just because you're armored doesn't mean you're gonna survive, but we'll do our best, okay? I like to keep people alive, and you will definitely be one of the ones that will try to keep existing. You know what I mean? Okay. So, what do we need to do now? Okay, so we have that. Okay, so I need to dismantle this chem fuel charged arc. And we're gonna lose a lot of power doing this, by the way, which is kind of annoying, but it'll be fine. And I think we're gonna try to build we're gonna try to build this one, so I think we have to downgrade the chem fuel arc a bunch of times. Oh, you'll lose the stuff. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Because so we've unlocked how to make the steam one, in theory. I'm going to downgrade this a bunch of times. I saved just in case. If worst comes to worst, I'll just cheat it back up. Wait. Are we back to wood? Okay, hold on. Wait, why are we back to wood? Wait, how do I get to the steam one? Wait, hold up. How did... Is there another research I was supposed to do? Wait a sec, did I miss a research step? Hold on. No, I shouldn't have missed anything, right? We have the arc, multi-analyzer. What did I... Wait, did I miss something? Hold on, we're just gonna... cheese this real quick. Geothermal study, true. Okay, so then... Okay, so that's fine. So upgrade this. Oh, that's really dumb. Oh my god, wait a second. Hold up. So you can't even cheat the building of this. It still requires you to eat the resources. Excuse me? Hold on. Did I miss something here? Hold on. Am I about to feel like I'm about to undergo this ridiculous quest line of trying to figure out how this works because of weird decisions by Vanilla Expanded. Vanilla Expanded, the generator. Okay, let me double check how this works again. I'm just gonna pull it up on the Steam Workshop. Okay, so securing site geothermal restrictors components, defended, fortified their position. Okay, arc generator. Okay, so to get to the geothermal one. Oh, do I have to go all the way from... That doesn't make sense, right? It should be from wood blasting. I should be able to step up to geothermal. Let me double check that. Since I know we have it researched now, let's just check real quick. So set geothermal study to true. And then we're going to step this down to... We need to drop it down to wood blasting. Okay. Okay, so why am I not able to upgrade this to the next one? All right, great. All right, so what I'm understanding is Vanilla Expanded is making no sense, and I have to figure out how to make this work again. Supposedly, it is on a Steam geyser. It should be, anyways. If I press this button, will I be allowed to research the nuclear one? Or do I literally have to go through them one step at a time? You know, let's try this. Let's go back, and I think we might actually have to go through them one step at a time. Which doesn't make any sense. Alright, let's try this. Okay, so we gotta get this, we gotta keep this running for how much longer? Okay, it's gotta burn through another 900 units of fuel. I have about that much fuel remaining, so why don't we... Gotta be continuous, right? No, just as much. Okay, so we're gonna crank the reactor in overdrive and arc tune it to maximum output, so that will forcibly burn through as much power or much fuel as possible. So in minimum about 3 days, we should be able to do this, or 9 days. I think. I hope we're making enough poop is the main concern that I have. Worst comes to worst, we will turn the excess quantity of rice we have into chem fuel, which is not the worst idea. I mean, it works. If it comes to that, we will. In fact, we're gonna do that real quick. We're gonna allow us to use rice, but only clear all rice, but only until we have at least, I guess 500 units of fuel. If once we start running below that, then we're gonna pause that, so that should be fine. Okay, and I need to order our favorite drug maker to make large quantities of drugs because we are in need of Nutrimine desperately. Still don't know why that recipe doesn't work, by the way. That's like the thing that's been bothering me. I don't know why I'm only making one at a time. The recipe should allow for multiple, but what do I know? Game is weird. Just we'll just watch Sun go at it. He's a very dedicated worker. Are we gonna get a volcanic winter on top of our regular winter? That seems a little excessive. Stop making soup for a little bit. We have way too much soup anyways. I might have gone overboard making crops for everyone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do storage. We're gonna do a crate here. I'm gonna chunks don't go here anymore. Chunks no. Storage chunks go on this one, and that should be fine. Okay. So once that gets built out, this will be all cleaned up, and everything will be fine and dandy. Rice, Nutrimine, we got tea, we got cotton, we got the whole gamut of crops. The only thing we don't have is an animal to feed it all. Alright, so now it's going to be even colder, which means I may need to double insulate our... I may need to double insulate these areas, although maybe not. It is 44 degrees in there, so that is pretty toasty. Alright, since we have... How much steel do I have? Oh, actually, I'm running out of steel. Okay. Can we do the next level of drill? Okay, so we can build a plasma drill. Plasma drills can adjust what ores to mine for, even balance power for speed. We'll set the primary ore type and receive occasional bonuses. 3,000 watts of power. Okay, so this requires 1 advanced machine frame and 1 advanced AI core. Is that something I can make? Did it? Yes, but that's gonna eat up a large quantity of our resources. That's fine, because I think it'll make our getting resources way faster, so it'll be fine. Sacrifices must be made to ensure the longevity. I think the colony is at a stable point now. The main issue, surprisingly, is we're out of steel again. Every time I think we have steel, we just kind of burn through it all, so that's kind of the big problem. Now we are trying to get more steel here, because the main issue... So when I build all those hydroponics basins, fun fact, each of these consume, to build a new one, 100 steel. So when I made a giant stack of 27 of them, that ran through 2,700 units of steel, not to mention all the stuff needed for the walls and accessories to the building. And so that's kind of the issue. I have to be very careful of what I make now. Let's also haul these into here, which will then rip it into concrete mix. There we go. Look at that. All the concrete mix we could possibly desire. All right. That's why we're doing this. Look at this. The automation of our colony will continue to... So this more... I could just deep drill, but this is just an automated way to deep drill at the higher resource investment cost, like I'm playing Factorio. Because our pawns could be better off doing things like this, like Sun sitting here and making drugs out of flowers manually instead of automating it, because apparently I can't automate this stupid thing. You also need someone with very... Actually, this is a really good way to just grind crafting skill. Can your name do this? Oh, wait. What is the skill you need to make Nutrimine? You need to be intellectual 5. Okay. So you need intellectual and crafting. The problem is... Okay, so maybe Rachel Maelstrom could make drugs. Oh my gosh, we're being attacked again. Another mech hive. They will prepare for a while, then attack. Oh my lordy. Oh! That's 96 Militaurs. Hmm. That's a lot of militaries. Hi, Falu. How are you? Oh, okay. All right. I have how many mortar shells? I have 5. I have 5 mortar shells. All right. Let's try. Now, once they start approaching, then I'll kind of get our colony up and moving over here. But I think what we'll do is we'll just ignore this for now. How are you doing, Falu? Welcome aboard to Bad Things Are About to Happen to Us, the video game. Ooh, good choice. I love They Are Billions. I haven't played it in some time, but it is a fantastic game. Okay, so our mortars are immediately firing over there. Let's hope they're aiming correctly. Probably not, because I don't have any accuracy, or I don't have a spotter. Okay. This is where ICBMs would be very wonderful right about now. Okay, we did kill 1 out of 96, so there's 95 remaining. I think I'm out of round. I think that was all my mortar shells, though. I gotta make more. Alright, once they've made enough, you can go back. And then you can go back as well. Alright, so I need to make more shells. The problem is that these shells are annoying to make. Not only because they can't. Wait, why do I have 30? Wait, what? Hold on. Why does it say I have 30? Where did they go? Why are they in, oh, why are they in here? Okay, hold on. 81 millimeters don't go in here. That was the problem. They were in the wrong spot. All right, let's drop them all out here, and that should be fine. But yeah, are you doing the campaign, or are you just doing like just freeform adventures in They Are Billions? They Are Billions is fun. I enjoy it. Oh my gosh, look at these Muffalo. What do they got? Nothing. Okay. We killed 1. I mean, to be fair, we have a lot of turrets. We should be okay. We've got at least 4 hanging around here. I don't know where the 5th one it's tagging is. Why is it tagging a 5th turret? Oh, there we go. 4. It's kicking your butt. Which part? A transport pod with someone named Tavella has crashed. Nari Brothers' brother. Unfortunately, they crashed in the worst possible spot. So, unless this person can survive the harsh winter for the foreseeable future, I cannot go out there. So, I guess this person's probably dead. Unless we can bait the robots to come attack us. Actually, I have an idea. We're gonna do that. We're gonna wanna get ready to capture, or save this poor soul from their own demise. Okay. At least we're at least flinging at least we're flinging these. Let's go haul these over real quick. They need to go. How are you doing? Oh, what was I talking about earlier? I was talking about CDs, right? Okay, so before I got completely sidetracked, okay, so I think CDs are back on the rise. Quite frankly, I've been wanting to collect CDs again. I actually have a whole bunch that need to be ripped into FLAC files. So my goal is hopefully in the near future, I will get my hands on a CD drive. I actually do have a CD drive attached to my case, but I think I ran out of cables to connect it to my motherboard and to my power supply, so I kind of gave up. And at this point, it's probably easier to buy a USB CD player with a memory card reader. Then I'll probably just do that at some point in the near future so that I can have all the cool music I have. Because I have a lot of Weeb CDs, including Girls on the Panzer. Like, I think I have like 3 Girls on Panzer CDs for some reason. I don't know why. And I'd love to be able to listen to them, you know, in high quality. And that'll be kind of nice. So that's my plan. We'll see how it pans out. But it is, yeah, I do enjoy old music. I actually was considering picking up like an old iPod, but until I saw the price of those things, and I was like, I'm good. I don't want to spend that much money. I'm cheap. No thanks. You know what I forgot to, I should have put embrasures here, or at least some here too, to at least provide extra protection, or at least another firing position. Anyways, we have 2 turrets here with a bunch of bullets. Let's see if they can do anything. I'm gonna hope. If they get too close, we'll just gun them down right down here at the center line. That's gonna be the plan. If they get too close, we can gun them down here. Okay, so we've killed like 1. Okay, the millet. Hopefully they're trying. Let's see if these auto turrets will do their job. Come on. So far so good. All right, why don't we have you hold fire? Hold fire. I'm gonna bring. Let's have Let's have Rachel pop out here. Rachel's got a machine, or a nice old assault rifle that might be able to assist here in at least keeping them locked down. What are you doing? Oh, never mind. You need to back up. You're dying. All right. They're approaching a lot faster than I thought. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. All right, you no longer hold fire. You no longer hold fire. Let's pull back a little bit. Oh Lord, there's so many of them. Okay. Okay, this is way worse than I was anticipating. Okay, let's pull back a little bit. Ray's gonna stand here. You got armor. Okay, so Ray's at least got armor. Can you fling a EMP down that corridor real quick? All right, then we're gonna have you all pull back. At the very least, it'll delay them. All right, how many more are left? Okay, so we killed about half of them. That's still half left that we need to grip through. Okay, somebody needs to come out here now too. Everyone with a gun needs to fight. Rachel's down there dying. 2 hours remaining. We're not saving that other person anymore. I don't think it's worth it. Let's just go send Alana back here. Let the kids stay in their bedrooms for the time being. Okay, so Kefir, you can fight. Okay, so I'm gonna have you quickly switch to EMP, fling an EMP that direction. Oh my goodness, he just got beamed. Alright, you switch the gun. See if we can kill this real fast. There's too many of them. Oh my gosh, there's just so many. The turrets are doing what they can, but they're not gonna be able to hold that off for much longer, I think. Let's get some of the other fighters out here. I didn't want to bring everyone out, but I think I need to. Where's Havel? Havel needs to come out here too. All right. So what I'm learning is that our colony loses to large quantities. Okay, so Garm's holding down that center line, which is great. Okay, so hopefully Garm can just keep shooting, and then these two are holding down that corridor. We're gonna send Zeoposer in. Okay, you're holding there. Where is Havel? Havel needs to come out here too. All right. There's a lot of them, but they can't hold the line forever. Okay. So the problem is Rachel's probably dead. I don't know if I can get to Rachel. These two can definitely survive. Oh my gosh, you need to tend immediately. All right, you keep fighting. You keep fighting. Okay, so your name went down. How many are more? Still a lot more, right? I killed most of them. Okay, you need to keep fighting. Okay. Can we get someone over there? Okay, Sonia's still holding the line. Havel's really holding the line here. Okay. Okay. Alright, so you'll survive. You rescue. And then I'm gonna have you undraft. Okay, so kill that. You pivot there. Oh wait, they're still coming in the northern flank. Uh-oh. Thankfully these auto bunkers are holding the line. Alright, so we're gonna hope that they can do what they can while we try to handle triage. Oh my gosh, I am yapping way faster than I normally do. Okay. Who's the closest to dying? Okay, so Ray's fine, right? Okay, so you are alive. You're fighting that. Okay, I'm gonna have Garm get ready to hold down this corridor. I need machine guns more. Okay, you hold that. Okay, you rescue. Okay, you immediately triage. Okay, so Alana, you're gonna go over here, and you're going to. Okay, I need you to quickly go over here and tend. Zeoposer. Okay, so you will tend here. You, I don't know, just do what you can. Just try to rescue them. Whoever's alive here that can keep pulling the line. These bunkers are doing so much work right now. Probably can't do it. You can at least get out here. Okay. I think Rachel survives, probably. So he's gonna be okay. Okay, good. So you'll be fine. Havel's still fighting. Ray needs to keep fighting. Who's got the next emergency? Okay, so Mortal's still alive. Your name is got 0.5 hours, which is being tended to as fast as we can. Okay, so Rachel's gonna survive. Okay, Alana, you're gonna move over here. I don't know if we can get your name to be tended to. Alright, you quickly take over now, because your tending is way faster. Okay, gonna have Havel pivot towards the north front. I think this turret somehow managed to hold off all the Militors. I don't know why those things were way more durable than I thought. Okay, so we're trying to undraft you. You undraft. You go over there. Okay. Who else is dying? Havel should be fine. There's like one more Militor that I think is dead anyways. Yeah, he's moving. All right. Okay, so those two... Okay, so what I'm learning is we need small bunkers for the Militors, and we need the big one, these big turrets for the big guys. Okay. Okay, so your name will survive. Okay, why don't we rescue you? You'll be fine. I think. Yes, okay. Okay, so... let's quickly rescue you. And then at this point, it's just full triage as fast as we possibly can. Oh, you're a doctor. I'll draft you. Let's have you tend. Okay. I think everyone should survive. That's fine. We might need to keep a fridge full of food in here as well before I forget. Let's do that next too. Okay, so you tend here. I don't know why we're not focusing on tending. Why are we trying to rest when tending needs to happen? You're fine. You're fine. Oh, you're not fine. Okay, you gotta get tended to. Okay. All right, so that entire debacle has happened, and we've survived somehow, barely. There's a few more people that need to die, but we'll just let, I don't know, Z Opposer can probably go deal with that last one. Look at that last brave Militor. You know, on the other hand, for killing all these Militors, we do get some decent rewards, as in there's a lot of bodies that we can then, you know, rip apart for materials. We're gonna have Z Opposer just run up there, cut the poor guy in half. Excellent. Okay. Okay, I don't think you can actually turn Militors into plastic. I think they just turn into steel. Which is not terribly exciting, but I think that's fine. I'd rather just... I need more steel right now, especially since we gotta rebuild everything. So, there is this thing here, which... you know what I'm gonna do? Do I have a way to automatically process these? Let's see, do any of these industrial facilities just process them automatically? Hello, Steve, how are you? Probably not, is my guess. The blast furnace probably might, but it's probably not worth using these. Because this one... yeah, we would not. This is the mason. You would need the blast furnace, which I think might be able to do it, but... it's the early stage one. I didn't get the other later stage items, which is unfortunate. So I think what we'll do for now is... do I have an automated crafter? I do have an assembler. Oh, perfect. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to park this here. Suspend this temporarily. We're going to make a fat crate as big as I can make. Whatever storage thing I can fit in here. This will hold 4 stacks. This will hold 6. Okay, so we'll do 1 and 2. And I'm going to clear all. I want this one to carry strictly only corpses of the mechanoid variety. Then we're going to copy, paste, and then I need to grab a builder. Who's my best builders that are not in the middle of dying? Nahil, congratulations to Nahil. I'm going to have Nahil quickly build all this now. And then we can start hauling over all these corpses and start processing them into things that we actually need. All right. Anyways, let's go back to what I was talking about, CDs. Yeah, so anyways, I have a bunch of CDs that I've been meaning to rip and put onto my whatever device I'm going to use as my music, you know, storage listening device thing. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. Mostly because I've been wanting to use my headphones again. Hello, Peach Cobbler. I use a Audio-Technica M50Xs, and I've had them for almost a decade now, and they are still wonderful little headphones. They're not, actually, they're not little, they're quite big. But I've been wanting to use them more instead of my Galaxy Buds, or like earbuds, because I don't like the feeling of those things in my ear. I like having something over my ear instead of like being inside of it. It's a very weird and minor complaint, I know, but it's just kind of my personal thing. I just find it feels a lot better and more comfortable for long listening sessions. That's why I can have a gaming headset on for so long, rather than, you know, not. Okay. If I did this correctly, there we go. See, it's processing into steel, which is what we want. I'm just going to have it output here. So as soon as those corpses get dropped off, they immediately get processed into metal. It's kind of beautiful to behold. Thank you. You like the circle? You like our little generator in the middle that's keeping our colony alive? That's a lot of infections. Okay, let's go tend to those real quick. Okay, so Mortal's got an infection, Kefir got an infection too. Kefir's infection has been tended to. Thankfully, we have a lot of high-end medicine, which is great to keeping everyone alive. Alright. I think Immortal should survive that. Okay. What permanent injuries did we encounter? Immortal's missing a kidney! Oh, alright. We gotta get a new kidney for the poor guy. The poor lass. Okay. Oh my gosh, Rachel got him infection too. There's a lot of infections. You would think that this room is clean enough to prevent infections, but alas, it is not. Okay. Again, these turrets do what they can, but we're gonna need a little bit more than that, I think. We'll need some light turrets as well to just help protect us. Okay. So I don't think we're building the advanced plasma drill anytime soon, primarily because all the steel that we've just kind of ripped through. And thankfully we're getting a lot more as soon as this thing just gets its hands on any grubby amount of steel. It's gonna go crazy. Just kind of dump it in here. Yeah, that's fine. Output here. That's fine. Ignore storage filters. That's what I want. I just want it to make metal. I do need to use the restroom because I've been yapping for quite some time, for almost 2 hours. So let me let you gawk at this part of the colony as we rebuild everything, and also grab all these things. And also I need to find a way to strip these bullets into useful materials as well. All right. I'm gonna let you gawk here. Hopefully this will start getting soon. How much more do I need? All right, we're getting there. All right, I'll be right back. I think this is a good angle. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Oh, classic Rimworld. Every time I turn around, there's always just another, what do you want to call it? Medical emergency. Who's dying? Alright, so Rachel's still dying of a massive blood loss, and your name is up and running, but he's also got some severe blood loss. Just give it some time and they'll be fine. That's how it always works. Anyways, we're gonna take all these bullets and, I don't know, rip them apart into usable bits. I don't know why we're hauling it in here. I will say, I don't remember what mod this is from, but these, bullet lockers seem to have an infinite amount of storage. Which is kind of concerning because I feel like they shouldn't, and I don't know why they specifically do. And I'm pretty sure there's a way to change it. But it holds 50 stacks of 50 different items. And bullets, surprisingly, don't take that much space. It's almost like a vault of just bullets in there. And then again, maybe bullets don't take up nearly as much space as I think that they do, and that's probably where I'm getting confused on, but I don't know. Just a minor little thing I was thinking about earlier. Alright, what do we need to do to make this place a little bit safer? The northern flank definitely needs some more protection, so we're gonna... Once we get more steel, we'll try to build that out. We did get our turrets back, which is great. My next goal is slap down one of these, where'd it go? This plasma drill. The only problem is this requires 1,000 steel, so... Once we get 1,000 steel, we'll do that. Mang, descend, Batavia Republic, and Star Sector have some strange weapons. What do you mean? Did you see all the cool stuff Whiskey's been doing? Oh my gosh, I saw that her book cover got like an animated splash screen, and I was like, that's sick. That's super cool. Also, what weapons are you confused about the SBR? I know a lot of the SBR stuff is getting like redrawn by Yukimaru or by CY. Playing with their light frigates that are cost, they don't really punch that hard. Aren't they supposed to be like a little... I thought that was the point. I thought frigates don't punch that hard in general. I don't know, I'm so far removed from what normal Star Sector is supposed to feel like, so I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Let's go talk to this export company. We might be able to sell off some of our garbage. Alright, what do we got? I will... I don't have silver. I need silver, so I need to sell stuff. You can have this. Maybe I sell off all the salt, but I kind of want to keep it. Sell the jade. Do I need 3,000 units of uranium? Probably not. I can probably get away with selling 500, or probably get away with selling 1,000 of it. I'm gonna regret that decision. I know it. Either class steel. Keep the tea leaves. Sell these because we don't use them. I don't think I really want any of their other stuff. Don't think we're using the industrial cooker, although we probably could have. Maybe let's hold on to the industrial cooker. Maybe we can automate our cooking. Meat grinder, filling dispenser. I don't think I need any of these. The industrial furnace is probably the only one that's like vaguely tempting. But beyond that, I don't think I particularly care. Yeah, that's fine. But anyways, how are you enjoying the SBR content? I haven't... Well, when did we play Star Sector last time? Friday or Thursday? I think that was last Thursday we played Star Sector. We might do Star Sector this week. I think I'll put it on the poll for Thursday if people really want to see it, but I think most of the time people are just kind of like ambivalent on Star Sector. So that's kind of my logic. I hope I'm saying that right. I think I used to say it as ambivalent, and I'm like, no, it's ambivalent. Because if I say it wrong, I know someone's gonna make fun of me for it. Master of English, apparently. I am not. That poor moose. Alright, let's go execute that poor thing. You're messing around with their weapon loadouts with torpedoes were underwhelming, but missile spam is crazy. I thought the whole thing with SBR stuff was that they're very, bloody, what's it called? They're very fighter heavy. I know, UAF is incredibly fighter heavy. Say it wrong and embrace it. No, if I say it wrong, oh, trust me. Like, apparently I say chasm incorrectly, because I used to say it as chasm. And apparently it's chasm, and there's a bunch of other words that are similar to that where I just like, I've been saying it wrong the whole time. I saw a video somewhere where there's like a word, I can't remember what it was. There was like, they were reading a word, and it was one of those words where like, if you've never heard it pronounced, you would say it wrong. Because English is a weird language where you could read a word, And if you've never actually heard it, like how it's pronounced, you could be completely wrong on how it's actually pronounced. And I think that's hilarious. I think it's great. I wish I knew what the video was, but I thought it was the funniest thing I'd seen in quite some time. I was like, oh, someone who understands my plight of the English language. Do I have 1,000 steel yet? Probably not. Well, oh, by the way, we are making those reinforced barrels now, which is great. Okay, so what we're gonna do is... Oh, I see the problem. Okay, so can I... Does Bashi know how to haul things? No. Who's Bashi's trainer? Oh, it's just Hayashi. Hayashi's the only one who can train Bashi. Oh, you can't because you need 10 skill in animal. No one here has 10 skill in animal. Except for Sun, who's busy doing other things. Alright, time for Sun to stop crafting and more handle Bashi. You say Terran as Terran. You said wrong in stream. Oh. I guess we all have our weird issues with the English language. Alas, that's just how it be. What a funny language. Hires to set up a camera harassing caravans if find 10 soldiers to carry out the attack. I don't really want to go fight that, so I'm good, fam. Apparently a lot of my I have a lot of also weird like verbal tics, I guess is the best way to describe it. Like apparently I say the word funny way too much in like as a adjective, even if it's not funny. It's just like a thing that I say. Like, oh, look at this funny little thing. And then it might infect your own speech patterns and you start saying funny when you don't even realize it. Seems like frigates are designed in mind screen for their fighters. Their Medusa anti-air missiles that keep heavy point to defense. Yeah, that sounds about right, because I'm pretty sure a lot of SBR is very much inspired by modern naval doctrine rather than like, you know, science fiction naval doctrine. That's probably why, is my guess. Oh, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure we all have like a funny tick. We don't want to admit it though, and that's fine. We'll just continue living in our bubble, pretending that, you know, no, I'm not weird. I'm normal, is what we'll continue to tell ourselves. I need to add more bridges here. I need more. Need to enslave that land for more barriers. I am running out of steel again though, which is a problem. I don't care about these corpses, probably not. Oh my gosh, oh, hello. You're a full kid trial. Okay, so we gotta make a kid's shirt out of whatever I have sitting around. You adopted the Valley Girlness, not using it like a filler world. Using like as a filler word. Oh. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, look. That's probably the most normal one. It's whether or not you speak like a Valley Girl. So just because you say like a Valley Girl, it doesn't mean you're a Valley Girl. It's though if you say it like how do they say it? Like this, you know, like the certain speech pattern that like all the Valley Girls have in media, where they like to go up a lot in their sentences like kind of go like up and down. It's really weird, you know. I'm sure if I talk like this, Ray's probably gonna stab me, so I'm not gonna talk like this the whole time, but, you know, haha, it's funny. Normal's setting on a washing machine, let that freak flag fly. You know what, fair enough. You gotta let that freak flag fly, like, yes. You know, y'all, yeah, and that makes sense. You're interested in this, but it doesn't come up quite as often. Could be worse. You could be speaking in corporate speak. Corporate speak is probably like the worst version of verbal tics. You know, like the people who are like, you know, let's run it around the flagpole, or, you know, I'll circle back to you, or dot all the I's and cross the T's. You know, there's like a lot of like corporate. If you ever listen to someone do corporate speak, it's probably like one of the most interesting cursed ways of talking, because it's very much designed to, like, it's basically designed to avoid committing to something while answering the question in a non-committal way, right? So like, you know, it's basically like to save face, I guess, in a way, and like to hide like your true intent by trying to say it in a polite way without sounding like a dick. So like you'll hear the words like, you know, let's take this offline, which means let's talk about this outside of this call where other people can't hear us, right? It's like legal speak, exactly. Are you using proper safety speech even when you're in casual conversation? You don't say cuts, you say lacerations. Who do you think? I mean, to be fair, I think that's probably fine. It's good if you're like trying to do something like that where you need to get into the right mindset and memorize those. But corporate speak is just a whole different level of just nonsense, right? Like that's really what it is, and it's so cursed. And I'm just like, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that type of thing very often. But man, it's like, let's circle back on this. It means let's talk about this later when I feel like it and not right now. Or you have things like what are the other ones, like what are the key learnings or low-hanging fruit? Well, to be fair, some of these are normal. Let's put a pin on it, piggybacking, bring it to the table, touch base, out of pocket, value add. Oh, so many of these terms. You just get sick and tired of hearing it all the dang time. It drives you nuts, right? But alas, you know, that's just how corporate America be. You need to be able to speak the lingo if you want to succeed in these trying times, right? You gotta be able to skedaddle with the bagel. One day you'll fight your faction, spread your some commodities across the sector. One day, if I ever get around to working on it. Like I said, I'm stuck on the ships. I don't know how to design a ship. Honestly, I might just finish working on it and just say this uses the default Star Sector ships for now until I get around to making ship designs. Like, I might just do that because I'm like super lazy and I am terrible at graphics. Right, that might just be what I do for Star Sector, because I already have a couple portraits. At the very least, you'll have my goal at the very least is to have a functioning system, and then like, yeah, you can play with the system, and that's probably the bare minimum to have a functioning faction in Star Sector. For your psychology class, you had to group roleplay the safety hall, half being in the safety with the psychology students being HR, and it came with a way you're too direct in how you communicate. Oh, are they telling you have to talk like in a way that doesn't like implicate people, or you have to say it in a way that's like you have to use soft language instead of, you know, hard language or something stupid like that, right? Like, I swear that I've heard that statement before, and it drives me bananas. I'm like, no, just talk direct. Don't dance around the topic. If you need to say something, just commit to the bloody thing. It makes life so much easier for everyone else instead of like going like, well, you know, we don't want to really talk about it, but. Or, you know, you can't call them an idiot for getting themselves cut. You have to be like, well, you know, you need to be careful. You have to say, oh, you have to be careful next time so you don't make the same mistake again. You know, things like that. Yeah, it's like, no, just tell them you're an idiot. Stop getting yourself cut. You know, it depends on who you're talking to, I think, is also the main thing. I think one thing I've learned, it's probably kind of weird to say, is that specific groups of people respond to certain ways of speaking a little different. Like, because I have to interact with people on a regular basis of, you know, many walks of life. I've come to the conclusion that in generally, guys, like, if you just talk to a guy directly, they'll be fine. They'll understand and they'll be fine with it and they'll just carry on with their day. But some other people, you have to kind of be a little more soft about it and, you know, you can't be accusatory and call them an idiot. You have to just be a little more, you know, hey, look, please don't make this mistake again, you know, things like that. And it's fine. I just think it's kind of funny that it's like there's certain ways to talk to specific groups of individuals to make sure everyone is sane at the end of it and no one goes crazy. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, how much more steel? Okay, we have 1,000 steel now. So now that we have enough metal, I'm gonna build this stupid thingy. You also heard to point out at first class that you're autistic too. I mean, hey, that's fine. Oh my god, what did you just type, Soingo? We can't address this issue directly. We have to stretch this out to at least 5 emails and 2 meetings, and then we'll hand it to a hastily assembled committee that has no clue what's going on. No, see, the way you describe that is like, you know, we can't resolve the issue at hand at the current time. We'll need to circle back around this. We'll hook each other into the chains so that everyone is kept up to date with the information regarding this project. And we'll have a town hall, or we'll have a stand-up about it next week so we can update one another on our progress and, all that stuff, something like that. I don't know. I'm terrible at corporate speak, like, surprisingly. I don't really partake in corporate speak very much in real life, so that's why I'm not, like, that cursed with that knowledge. That's something with this in safety combat with the HR people. I mean, like, HR is a very unique space. Oh my gosh, we're getting attacked again. All right. What do we got? We got centipede blasters. Are they attacking immediately? Okay, so we got centipede blasters, lancers, and then there's a centurion. Now, there's no termites, so I think we're safe here. They're probably going to try to punch down here or move up there. Now, the problem is I don't have turrets up here. I didn't set that up yet, so that's a bit of a problem, ain't it? Oh, yeah, the LinkedIn translator is so funny. I feel like I want to plug in, like, anything like I say and just plug it in there and just see. Like, hold on, that thing you just typed in the YouTube chat, let me highlight it. Why can't I highlight this message? It keeps wanting to, like, pull up a bunch of other tools I don't care about. I just want to copy this. I'm not trying to remove you as a mod. How do I click this stupid message? Oh my god. Okay. Why is my LinkedIn translator in Nihongo? I don't know what I did, but apparently my LinkedIn translator is in Japanese, and I don't know why. I don't know what I did. That's super odd. Alright, well, about this. Imagine feeding Bidonos into that before they go. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. You know what? I should see if I can figure that out. If there's a way to convert donation messages into not just, you know, TTS, but feed it into a LinkedIn speak translator. God, that'd be so cursed. I don't know how I'm gonna fight this mechanoid stack. Let's get the tanks up and running. I want Garm as the gunner here. I want Hawksby as the driver here. I want Rachel as the gunner, or no, driver. I'll have Ray be the gunner here. Oh man. Look at all that cotton. Beautiful. A presentation on safety. That's seems to be not too bad. I've seen a lot people have to do presentations all the time. It's not that big of a deal. At least I like to think it's not that big of a deal. We're gonna see if we can just harass those vehicles before they get too close to us. Is this one ready to go? No, it's missing. I think it's gunner. Who's the gunner for this one? Garm? Oh, it's Garm. Okay, we're gonna go start harassing the mechs before they get too close. Better to do this early than to delay it any longer. Need Garm over here. Okay, so you're gonna set the auto fire and you're gonna shoot whatever you get your hands on. Right down that corridor. Hello, Ranu. How are you? You missed me complaining about game design earlier. All right. Is this not in range to shoot that, or you just don't want to shoot? Oh, it might not be in range. All right, so we gotta move this up a little bit. All right, pull this one up a little bit too. Your power's out. Oh my gosh. You put a nearly expired helmet on a watermelon and one without. Ah, and then you destroyed the watermelon, right? Put this back a little bit. I don't want this one pushing too far. It's a little risky. So it just needs to keep shooting it whenever it's up and running. There we go. We can just gun them down. All right, now that their shields are down, we should be able to just rip them apart because tanks are overpowered. Just stand right there. You're at home, right? I don't remember where you live. I'm just gonna assume that you're in a place where power is apparently just non-existent. We're gonna pretend that you live in I don't know. But we're gonna pretend that you live in Louisiana. Let's say that. All right, is you gonna survive? No one here getting hurt, right? The armor's still holding strong, and just getting smacked around. Oh, okay, that's right. I forgot we have a lot of Texas people here for some reason. Texas. That's the place that's from SpongeBob, right? SpongeBob invented Texas. Did you know that? Oh my gosh, I don't think our tanks can actually handle. Oh my gosh, Hawksby's down. I think Hawksby might be dead actually. Okay. All right, Hawksby did die. Okay, so that's unfortunate. So Garm's the only one holding on. Yeah, they committed hard to killing that. All right, Hawksby just instantly exploded. All right, well, let's get the see opposed. Okay, hold on. Let's put Garm in the driver's seat. Pull this back up. Yeah. Oh, it's too heavy. Let's pull this back over here. Let's have Alana grab that body. Let's get a what's it called, built another grave. Oh, it's Texas out of power. It's not cold. You love breaking down the shipping crates at work. You get to use a sledgehammer. Gosh, I wish I had a job that allows me to do horrible things like that. Unfortunately, I do not get an opportunity. Nope, I'm required to use computer for most of my work. Unload these guys. And then unload Garb. Okay. Hopefully that's fine. We'll survive. We'll get everyone tended to. We'll haul our dead. And we'll start ripping these mechanoids into parts that we need. So we're just going to just allow all. Steve is dying of freezing temperatures because he doesn't have a shirt, surprisingly enough, I think. He's got a shirt, okay. But yeah, that must seem very therapeutic. I've seen, like, places that you can do similar things. Like, I know, there's a lot of, what's the term? There's a rage rooms. That's what they're called. Rage rooms are all the rage nowadays. And I've been looking online, and like this place, like there's a place that I've seen that's like, oh, they specialize in doing like VR type activities, and for some reason they're like, anyways, we also have a rage room. And I'm just like, what is a rage room? Apparently a place where you go in and you just, you know, you pay like a flat fee for like 30 minutes or something in a room and some protective equipment and a sledgehammer, and you're just encouraged to just destroy everything in that room, supposedly to, you know, let your anger out or something like that. I've seen them, but I'm just like, why can't you just do this in your own backyard? I guess because you don't have to do the cleanup, I guess is probably the main benefit. I just think it is kind of amusing in that regard. Geothermal power. You know what? This is probably why we can't build the Ark. I just realized I don't have the geothermal power yet. That might be why. We'll get these techs real fast. So it is interesting. I've seen them, and I'm like, that would be kind of cool, but I don't like spending money, so I think I'm good, fam. Let's seal this door up. That's fine. And hopefully we'll bury our dearly departed friend. We're going to assign this to Oxby, who fought valiantly on the front line in the tank, but unfortunately was not enough to survive. We will remember our dear friend. One of our best doctors, nonetheless. Let's bury. We shan't let this man be out there. I mean, I believe that's called a gym. I believe you're looking for a gym or a home gym. I'm just mostly saying that it's just like it's like a new like shop type that's just very popular is what I've seen, where you go in, sledgehammer, you go break things. You're allowed to bring a box of things to break too. I usually see things like printers or computers or TVs or glass, a lot of, you know, china, things like that just get smashed around, and people are like, yeah, let the anger out, woo, all that. Yeah, printers especially the ones made by HP. Yeah, did you know the Institute does not use HP printers because of the professor's deep hatred for their business practices and their insane deep fact that they have printer ink DRM? I'm not even joking. I used to use HP printers. I hate them. I switched to Brother and Epson because it's just absolutely insane that a printer company can tell me what ink I'm allowed to use in my printer. No, you are designed to spit out this liquid into my paper, not to tell me what liquid you are allowed to spit out. All right? I refuse to buy HP printers forever. Like, they have lost me as a customer essentially forever. We used to use HP printers, like I said, and I refuse to use them now. I will pay the premium for literally anything else. It is not worth using HP. Yeah, exactly. They're incredibly dystopian in like their attempt to control them, you know, what you're allowed to do. Because they, you know, like printer ink DRM is such an insane concept to me. I'm like, who thought this was okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I build this wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What did I do here that's very wrong? I don't have a copy paste tool. An 8-year-old flash drive, proper Viking funeral, been used since high school, and finally kicked the bucket. You know what? Give it a proper funeral, but maybe don't actually burn it. I don't think you want to be inhaling those fumes. Yeah, HP did age horribly, and it's a little Unfortunate for them. What a shame, truly. Okay, so I think this works fine. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking something real quick. My apologies. Okay. But yeah, HP has aged horribly. I know they have like I know their other new thing is that you buy a printer and then they expect you to subscribe to their HP Instant Ink, where supposedly if you start running out of ink, they'll just send you a new, you know, cartridge and you can print like 10 sheets a month for like $3. And I'm just like, but why? Why do I have to pay a monthly fee for my printer? It's as bad as when cars were trying to do like that whole monthly subscription thing for heated seats, which by the way, they had to backtrack so badly because everyone thought this was like the dumbest thing ever. Companies are out there trying to find every single way they can find to nickel and dime you, and it's just like, dude, please, just make a product that functions. I don't need it to do all this other stuff. I just need it to work, you know? And I think that's the thing that consumers are just sick of. They're sick of just being nickel and dime for every little thing that they try to do on their own devices. I definitely am. It drives me bananas. Like, I shouldn't have to be doing this. Also, are these things gonna attack me? They're not hungry. I can try taming them. The problem is that they're big, chunky boys. I also back down because you wouldn't hack a car do be the best way to make people hack the car. Exactly. Well, I know that's the thing too. Like, some cars are like, they'll just, you know what they do now? They'll just like, oh, if you hack the car, you just ruin your warranty, and we have the right to not, you know, fix your car up anymore. And it's just like, well, we'll see how that handles in court, with right to repair laws getting more prominent in places like Europe. We'll see. Oh my gosh, this thing is spitting out way more stuff than I thought. I might need to put a crate here. Okay, this mine's way faster than I thought. I think I'm gonna get rid of these. Let's just uninstall these pulse drills. We don't need these anymore. I think the plasma drill works better. Should be fine. I could probably automate this too, but I'm a little lazy. I could probably just dump it in that crate, but it's not a big deal, I think. Doesn't matter how much real size on folks recognize it, so it's my problem. I mean, to be fair, I think people realize it's a problem. It's just a problem of like, what can you actually do about it as an individual? You don't need your toilet to measure how your diet or how fridge. Oh yeah, the whole. That's not even AI. That's just called the That's just the whole Internet of Things, where everything needs an app, right? Like, why does my toilet need why does my toilet need an app? Why does my scale need an app? Like, I just need it to function. I don't need it to do all this other weird stuff, you know what I mean? It is a little crazy. Oh, so we're gonna stop making cotton for a second. We're gonna switch this over to heel root. We need more heel root anyways, so we can get that going. I might try to move all these down here, but I just remembered I can't really dismantle these hydroponic spaces, which is a little unfortunate. Oh yeah, 3D printers are another interesting one. So 3D printers, I don't think they're getting that far, but I know with 3D printers, there's a lot of companies, there's a lot of governments out there that are trying to restrict what you're allowed to print, right? In a similar way how you're not allowed to photocopy money, there's a lot of, they're trying to prevent you from 3D printing firearm parts is the very hot new thing. And I'm not going to get into the politics of whether or not that's okay or not, but it is kind of crazy that the things that you own aren't really things you own anymore. That's right, you own nothing and you'll be happy. You'll suffer. You'll enjoy buying the slop forever. And you're gonna like it. Yeah, that's right. We live in a post-content world. We live in a slop, in the modern slop era. Oh my goodness, Steve has grown up. All right, so Steve reached age of 10 and gets 2 skills and 1 trait. All right, so what are we doing for Steve? Let's see. I think we need more doctors, so you get to be a doctor. And we're gonna, ooh, valiant? Psychopath or misogynist. I think we'll make you a valiant individual. That sounds more appropriate for you. We get to the other one will be in. You know, I need a construction worker, so you get to be a construction worker. Congratulations. You think it's time you embrace this lot, but no, yeah, absolutely not. California wants to have an algo that identifies if you're trying to put it as a gun based on cheat codes. I saw that, yeah, and I was like, it's super. It's the thing is, it just starts with one thing, and then you slowly approach the erosion of other rights. You know, that's the thing. It starts with one, and then slowly gets more and more restrictive. That's kind of as much as I'm going to talk about that talk, because I know everyone's got their own different opinion. We try not to talk about real politics too much, but I know if you look at Britain as a prime example of where censorship can go, if you give an inch, they'll take like 50 miles. They're considering banning VPNs in Britain now. Just want to point out how absurd that statement is. I just want to point out how absurd the statement of banning VPNs is coming out of my mouth. But it is true. That is what is happening over on those islands. Make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. Sure. No, it's okay. I know it's like a bit of a interesting. And to be fair, as an owner of a 3D printer, I too am invested in knowing where this topic ultimately ends up going. You know. So I don't feel like you have to apologize for simply discussing something that I think we were all going to discuss at some point anyways. Why does it feel like I cannot get this to look the way it's supposed to look? Did I do this wrong? This is 4? 4. Oh, I see. I see why it looks so wrong. Hold on. It's because this wall doesn't extend out all the way anymore. That's right, because I messed it up. So if I extend it out all the way, and then I use that as a basis point, that should be fine. 1, 2, 3. So this is 3. So actually, then in that case, the way this is supposed to look is it's supposed to look like. Oh, I knew something looked weird. And I was like, this seems a little odd. Should be 1, 2, 3. There we go. That looks correct. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna match that on the other side. God, my mouse is driving me crazy. I really need to buy a replacement mouse. I've been meaning to do that, but my replacement mice are getting more and more expensive. I really should just bite the bullet and pay the $120 for the replacement. Let me go on eBay real quick. I just want to see how much they cost now. I tried to type in eBay and I typed in Bea. Incorrect typing. All right. Logitech G604. Let's see. Oh my god, they're like $140 on eBay right now. Oh my lord. For a pre-owned one. Oh. $90% new, $140. I swear these were way cheaper a couple weeks ago. Oh my god. Why just commit? I don't want to use another mouse. I like this mouse too much. But the double clicking is getting really bad, and I can't. My software fixes aren't working as well anymore. Tragedy. The tragedy. I've tried to look at different mice, but none of them appeal to me. I've tried. Maybe one day Logitech will come out with something. I've also heard like people are like really into like the really thin mice, but like I said, I need to have like 6 thumb buttons minimum, and like 2 finger buttons that are not the left mouse button. Hayashi's daughter has joined, or would like to join the colony. Sure. All right, Hayashi's daughter Ziada has arrived. She is not dressed for the weather, and she needs to get over here so she can pick up her state-mandated parka. So hopefully she gets here alive fast enough so she can put on her fresh clothes. Let's see. Do we have anyone in the queue that can take over this pawn? Apparently you have a kid. Yeah, the more you know, right? Let's see. Ah, Ziryu's in the queue. All right, we're going to assign this to Ziryu. Wrong character. Let's real fast. I don't know, but apparently I actually had a kid when we weren't all paying attention. Let's see, how old is your kid? So your kid's 24. You are 17. Wait, what? Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so okay, here. No, I see what's going on. Okay. So chronologically, you are 68 because you were born 68 years ago, but physically, biologically, you are 17. Your kid is 24. So the only logic I could possibly come up with is you conceived the child with another when you were in your teens, and then you got shunted off to the far flung of the rim, and then 24 years later, that kid has shown up as well. That's all I can possibly think of is the logic behind this. Don't worry about it too much. Rimworld time shenanigans are a little wacky. Oh my god, we have so much food. I need to stop making food. Yeah, hunting down the missing parent who abandoned them as a child. She's out for blood. She wants revenge. She wants to know where her daddy went, and now you've arrived and exist, and now she's out for revenge. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, have you seen Fire Emblem Fates? That's literally what happens in Fire Emblem Fates, where you shove a baby into a hyperbolic time chamber, and then the kid pops out within like a week, ready to fight your war for you. It is incredibly dumb. Oh, it's so stupid, because they needed to find a justification to include children characters in Fire Emblem Fates. Have I ever shown you that cutscene? I wonder if I can find that cutscene. I wonder. Because it's so stupid. Basically, you unlock it the first time you get an S rank with any pair of characters. Sort of thinking of Fire Emblem Fates. Time chamber. I guess I can't find the cutscene, but it exists, and it's incredibly stupid, and it's... I don't know why it happens. Oh man, Fire Emblem. I wish Fire Emblem Fates was better, but... I remember I was so excited when that got announced because I ended up buying I actually bought the special edition of Fire Emblem Fates. I still have the box on my shelf, complete with the art book and the special cartridge that has all 3 games in one. Because if you didn't get your hands on it, you had to buy like the one game, and then you have to buy the rest through the DLC shop. And it's like, oh, you can't unlock the true route unless you get all the DLC. And it's just like, who cares? The true route sucked. It was super janky. We streamed it too. Oh my gosh, that was... Oh, I don't know. A lot of you weren't around for that, but I did stream Fire Emblem Fates through a randomizer a long time ago. I had some very interesting character voices, to say the least, and it was quite the time. Kind of why I'm like, man, we should do some Fire Emblem again. I miss Fire Emblem. That was the good stuff. I'm just too lazy to do the actual ROM hacking nowadays, because I've just got so much stuff to do that it's hard for me to find time to sit down and do that. By the way, I forgot we made all these bionic parts. We should probably start installing these. Who needs bionic bits? Is anyone actually missing, like... Okay, so hold on. So, Airman Joker, let's get you a proper arm. So, that's your right shoulder. We're going to install bionic arm on your right shoulder. And we're also going to install a new eye for you on your left. Okay, so what else do I need? We have 2 more eyes. Fire Emblem stream when? If I can find a good Fire Emblem time to do a Fire Emblem run, maybe. I know people want to see the ROM hack at some point. It's probably okay. It's barely injured next. Okay, that's fairly injured enough that I think giving Prophet 9 a new eye is fine. That replaces the right. Okay, we have 1 more eye to hand out. I forgot Rachel's frail torso. Ron is still missing body parts that I can't replace yet. I forgot Sun's got brain injuries. He's missing parts too. Okay, so that's probably fine. I don't think we have a need for the... I think we'll just wait until Ranu gets older, then we can start installing those missing limbs and bits and pieces back. Yeah, Ranu had a really rough childhood in this colony. It's a little tragic. If anything, I'm more surprised Ranu survived this long. Don't worry, Ranu will become a teenager soon enough. Maybe not today's stream, but next stream for sure. Ranu's trying their hardest in these trying times with all the pain and suffering that come along with it. This is a little take forever. I'm gonna cheat a little bit because I don't want to wait for this thing. I want to get to the next stage. I'm gonna just cheat this a little bit. Set burned fuel to 10,000. Okay, so then I should be able to install the ignition stabilizer. All right, let's upgrade the chem fuel charged arc. Hopefully into another stage. Will they go through their emo phase? I don't know. Did all of you go through an emo phase? I don't think I went through an emo phase. I definitely did not. I don't think I was ever in the I'm gonna be an emo type person. Thank God I thank goodness I turned out relatively normal. Yeah, I came out normal. Actually, no, I can't say that because I became a VTuber, so no, I am not normal. Normal people don't become VTubers or streamers. People who desire validation through internet stranger appreciation are the ones who became VTubers. Okay? That's who becomes a VTuber. Not normal people. Tragic as it may sound, it is very true. Being a VTuber is so weird. Oh wait, no, I can't talk about that. Never mind. I was gonna talk about something that I was told about earlier, but I think I can't. I will say, like I said, I do enjoy being a VTuber. It does eat up a lot of my time, but that's kind of the thing that I've kind of accepted, because I've looked at my stream stats on like what's it called, on like Twitch tracker, and I've streamed a lot of Rimworld. I think like Rimworld is like my #1 streamed game of all time. Obviously that makes sense considering it's a every single week thing you're gonna hear about. Thank you, and I know Ray's around to validate me forever too. Yeah, so like looking at my stream stats of all time. Let's see here. How many hours have I streamed in my life? 3,606 hours. Mm-hmm. That's a spicy amount of hours. Yeah. It's kind of crazy how long that's been. It's a very long time. Here for the food and you, I guess. Oh yeah, the food. Don't worry. I'll post more food in the near future. Wait until I go on my trip. That's when I'm going to post a lot of pictures. Yeah, me and Ray going on a very cool Poggers trip. It's going to be super cool and stuff. Yeah. I'm excited for that. I've been like looking forward to that trip for months, and I keep looking at my calendar like, when is it happening? I mean, also there's other important things happening, like me and Ray have our first anniversary in the near future. I don't know how much people care about if I start talking about this. I probably shouldn't be talking about it this much, but yeah. You believe in me? Thanks. I'm glad people believe in me. I will do my best to be the VTuber that you all deserve, whether that's a good or bad thing. This plasma drill is outputting way more than I thought. I might need to actually dump a crate next to it to grab all that steel. Let's grab this one. I already have this thing here. Let's put it like right there, should be fine. And then that should just work. Oh, I can make it even faster. Wait, how fast? Oh, that's really... Wait, I can make it drain 90,000 watts of electricity to go super fast. We cannot afford that. Okay. Let's not do that. We still need to upgrade this thing. Okay, so here's our chem fuel fortified arc. Okay. Oh, so you do have to go through every single step manually. Got it. Okay, so the next step is the geothermal arc core. All right, so we're going to replace this now with the geothermal arc core. We do have the electricity one, which, you know, could be fine. Calibrate efficiency, etc., etc. But we're gonna make this a little better, a little nicer to fulfill our wacky needs, because boy gee howdy, this colony definitely needs more power. Because right now our entire colony is fueled by the hopes and dreams of these wind turbines, which is fine. Anyways, how are you doing, Xanth? Hopefully you're having a good evening too. I like those cool photos that I posted of tanks. I like tanks. Some real Panzer IV energy. I really do enjoy Groß und Panzer, and I always say if I ever get a chance to go to a Groß und Panzer concert during the final movie, I am gonna go. Even if I have to fly to another country, I will go to the final Groß und Panzer concert. Because when will it ever happen again? Yeah, and yes, I'll take Ray with me. Oh boy, another mech hive attack. All right, they will just not stop. What are we dealing with? 5 pikemen, the Scorchers, whatever, Centurions, whatever. Okay, so we might be able to handle this, maybe. These things are fully loaded. We might be okay, but I'm a little worried, mostly because my miner is all the way out here, and that's kind of a problem. Also, I don't know why it's not dropping the materials in there. Super odd. So I don't know why we're not dumping the pulse drills in here. Unless these things literally can't hold large buildings, which is probably the case, actually. Okay, we might need to find a way to store that somewhere. Can I put like a large pallet and then just put in drills? Oh, here we go. I can put automation items. Okay, so that's fine. We'll dump it there. All right, how do we deal with this? I could probably just overrun it with bullets. I could try to bring the tank over, but this thing moves super slow. I guess, okay, I'm gonna put Sun in here as the gunner, and then I'll put Sun as the driver. Hi, Garm. I assume if you're posting pain, you're in pain. Are you in significant amounts of pain, Garm? Are you gonna be okay? The speed is so bad. It's okay. We'll adjust. Can I have Ray actually build this out? Because now I know Ray studied this. No, Ray studied an ancient arc. What do you mean? Oh, okay. I guess it's gotta be your name that does this. All right. Oh, welcome, Garm. Hopefully you're gonna be okay. It's one of those days. Oh, that doesn't sound good. That bad? We're gonna pull in here. And then I'm gonna have Hayashi be the driver, or move Garm to the gunner position. I'm gonna have you turn this off. Hayashi hop in here as driver. Okay, we can probably start poking them at distance. Just reload real quick. Your work, as always, seems to be significant amounts of pain. I hope you're able to find some time to relax here instead of being in agony the whole time. I don't know why the pathing on this thing is just like nonsensical. I don't know if I like vanilla vehicles. I like them because it gives you transport options, but boy, it's a little wacky. I like the exosuit framework more, I think. At least the exosuit framework makes sense, kind of. Okay, so that should be fine. And this one should be lower priority. Basically, I want them to haul things out of here as fast as possible. With the power of the atom. Ah! What are you playing involving the power of the atom? You're not playing something like Minecraft, right? Like, what's that Minecraft mod? Greg Tech? Made by Mr. Gregorius himself. All right, let's go deal with this. All right, we're gonna pull you back. All right, Garm, you're gunning them down as best as you can. Hopefully you can maybe knock out a few. Let's give you some distance here. Okay, so I'm gonna have you get off Bashi. And then let's get ready to deal with this. You probably don't want to stand there. You definitely need to not be standing there. I'm going to pull you over here. Oh boy. Let's get everyone to safety. Probably the easiest solution here. Bashi should also be in the safety area, not be out here. While we try to gun this down. Alright. Hopefully our plasma drill survives. What do you mean, new campaign? Good. We are getting gunned down as best as we can. The only main thing to deal with is the giant Centurion with a giant stack of shield on it. Okay. We can probably just outgun the shield. Alright, fantastic. Alright, you undraft, you undraft. Alright, let's pull this back over there. Not too bad. Mechanoids solved. Let me look up ICBM Escalation. I keep seeing you play that. ICBM Escalation. Survival game. Alright. Grand RTS. You command armies. Blah, blah, blah. Nuclear standoff. Okay. Free campaign. AI rework. Okay, so there's multiple campaigns that you can play through this thing. Okay. Lots of that alt history stuff. You know what this? Okay, you know what this vaguely reminds me of aesthetically? Ever play that game End War? From like an eternity ago? There's this really cool game called End War that came out. God knows how long ago that was. It was like eons ago for like, it was like one of those RTS games that were designed console first, but I remember it was super cool because the important thing that you would do was you had to talk into your microphone. Yeah, that's right. You talked into your microphone to give commands. So you'd be like, you know, unit alpha move to point gamma or something like that. I don't remember what the specific terms that you used were, but I do remember that being a mechanic, and it was very interesting at the time. But I think most people who actually played it properly just used controllers and other ways of giving commands rather than that, which is a little unfortunate, but I guess that was just the easiest way to approach the game. At least the AI rework they've been working on, and a new sim. Oh, okay, a new campaign. I see. Well, hopefully it's at least some fun. I'm gonna quickly put down a carpet here before I forget. Let's do, I think it's light brown. Yeah, look at that. Look at this beautiful carpet we have. Okay. I'm gonna, oh wait, we're gonna turn off safety mode. All right, hopefully we can get this built now. So I'm gonna have your name finish out the geothermal arc. This will use less power. This will produce less power, but... Oh my gosh, we're actually running out of power. Oh, that's not good. Okay. I don't know why the advanced turbines are producing basically nothing. I wish I knew. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these things. Hold on, I have an idea. I'm gonna God mode something real quick. I just want to check something. Do these need to be like actually a certain distance apart, or else they will not produce power? My fabrication. Wait. My fabrication bench's interaction spot. Are they bugged? I think they're bugged. Oh my goodness, for whatever reason. Okay, hold on. I've pointed north ways. Okay, well, congratulations to Vanilla Expanded for somehow breaking a solar generator. Not sure how that happened. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. There's a psychic ship full of scythers. Okay, we gotta deal with that now. Let's undraft this real fast. We'll figure that out in a second. Okay, so anyways, these advanced wind turbines straight up. Well, now it's working, kind of. Okay, so they kind of sometimes work. I don't get it. If I destroy that one, will these stop working? Okay, no, they do. Oh, we're running out of power quickly. Okay, so here's the geothermal arc. This is a flat amount. We can install a vent booster. Needs to run interrupted for 15 days. We can also pressure tune it. Produce more power at the cost of more wear and tear. We have to hold it for 15 days. I need more power. I think we just need to dump more solar gens, and we'll need more batteries to kind of keep ourselves functioning. That's all we can do. We do not have any anti-grain warheads, but we do have our standard explosive warheads, which I am going to very much abuse. Garm, onto the mortar, please. And also, Comrade Ixonia, onto the other mortar. You know your target. Go fire and destroy them with impunity. Alright, so I'm going to have this focus fire the actual target. This one. Yeah, just fire when you feel like it. I'm not going to require any synchronization. I just want it to blow up. We may also build more mortars here before I forget. Let's add more. You can never have enough mortars. You can always have more. Anyways. Alright. I don't know if that actually did any damage. I don't think it did. Alright, well, we have 25-something shells ready to go, so I'm not in a rush here. Now, I don't know if they're going to attack us. They might just continue standing there. I think once the actual thing is destroyed, they'll start moving towards us. So for now, we'll just let those beautiful shells arc up. Let's see if it can add. Let's see if it connects. All right. No luck. Keep going. Just keep doing it. I don't care. Okay, so now the advanced wind turbines are working. Oh my gosh, where's all our power? Oh shoot. Hello, I destroyed this thing by accident. Okay, so there is centipedes and cyclopses. Okay. That's tragic. Yeah, we knew this was here. I just kind of kept ignoring it for like the longest time because I didn't feel like dealing with it. But now it's open, so it is now a problem that I do have to deal with at some point now that there's centipedes walking out. We may just need to hop into the Zojirushi because this thing is our solution to all problems. Let's see. I'm gonna have Garm be the gunner. Let's have Garm walk over here. Exonia can keep just blasting this. Yeah, one of them will have to land at some point, right? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's go crack this open. And let's get on over here. Okay. And we'll just blast them from afar because they can't really reach us, and it should be fine. We always have a solution to all problems. Oh my goodness, I don't know what's also going on, but like I've been feeling lethargic all day. I don't know if it's because I was out. Oh, speaking of lethargy and other things, did you all say Happy Mother's Day to your mother if you're on a good term with your mother? If you're not on good terms with your mother, then feel free to ignore everything I just said. Because we definitely did. It's always a fun time. Also, apparently yesterday was really funny because I was like browsing Twitter. Not only was it Mother's Day, but it was also Maid Day for some reason. So my Twitter feed was full of maids and characters in maid outfits and all sorts of other stuff like that. And it was a very interesting discussion about like maid uniforms, I guess, because there was this tweet that was going around of I guess some girl in Japan like twirling around and like sitting on grass. And people are like, this is not what it, like, where do you get an actual uniform like this? Oh, hello, that's a lot of explosions over there. Well, that's not my problem. All right, well, we'll just let them kill each other. Hello there, randomish. Well, you came in at the right time to watch chaos unfold. There was an ancient danger here that I am not privy to. They're all killing each other inside of there, so we're just letting them do that. Speaking of which, there was a maid here that is actually dead now. We're just gonna approach slowly and just, you know, let this auto fire, let Garm choose targets. Yeah, there we go, that should be fine. Perfect. You gotta go find the right shops in Japan. That's where you gotta go. I saw someone post, I think it was Infinite, that posted a thing on Discord where it's like, oh, look at all these different outfit types. And I'm like, listen, the answer to everything is just a classic. You can't go wrong. I never was a fan of like the miniskirt ones. I know a lot of people are like, oh, haha, sexy miniskirt maid. I'm like, no. You don't understand. The point of the maid outfit is not to be erotic in that way with like skimpy clothes and showing a lot of skin. No, the correct way to do it is to not be showing a lot of skin. That's more exciting than having, you know, your skin showing everywhere. I don't know where I'm going with this topic or why this even matters. Someone's gonna be like, what are you talking about? And I'll be like, yep, that is my opinion. Oh wait, hold on, we gotta strip this man before he dies. I'm gonna have Garm hop out real quick. I'm just gonna strip this man of his gear because he's got marine armor. Smooth this back. Alright, let's do that real quick. Hopefully Garm can get there. Avoid the explosions. Oh, is there still someone over there? Is there something in here? Oh, there's a Militor in there. I didn't even see that Militor. Holy cow. Oh shoot, there's an explosion. Uh-oh. Alright. Let's quickly strip this man of his gear. Alright. Fantastic. Alright, we're gonna have you retreat. We're gonna allow everything here. Who gets the marine armor? Alright. So, let's see. I think we're gonna give it to Airman Joker, who is generally on the front lines. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the miniskirt ones are just, I'm not terribly fond of. Like, where's that thing that Infinite posted? We're just gonna pull that chart up real quick so we can talk about it, because it's more fun to talk about things. Rimworld basically has turned into a chat about random things while things happen in the background type of stream. Quite an experience. Where is it? I swear I saw it. Oh, here we go. I think we've seen this image before too, so you know, it's one of those like you know, pick your favorite type thing, right? Because like there's a lot of different types here. Like you've got Victorian day, Victorian night, I think, is, or something like that. Edwardian. I can barely read that one. You haven't seen this one? Yeah, there's a lot here, and you got like all your different variety. I mean, like, I don't like this one, which is the miniskirt one. This is like the really popular one you always see like in anime and all that, because it's like, oh, you know, it's you got the thigh highs, you got the all the other stuff. But like, no, the correct way to do it is you have this one, the classic one, the long, you know, dress. You have the frills if you really want. Usually the frills on the underside too. Like this is like this is peak design. I was never fond of like the ones that are like super like I guess erotic or ecchi, like French or bunny, or even like this one, which is like a lingerie and swimsuit. Like I'm not terribly fond of these. I don't like these at all. But you have something like this. This one's good. I like 10. And some of these other ones are okay, like steampunk, science fiction. Science fiction's, it's a little like it's a little too tight form fitting, so I'm kind of whatever about it. But I definitely like these two a lot. These two are fantastic. This is good content right here. Number 21 and 22. Oh, this is peak character design or peak outfit design. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just really like these designs a lot. 11's fine too. Yeah, the China dress. So yeah, Infinite posted this on Discord if you want to take a look at it and gawk and figure out which one's your favorite. I'm sure everyone's got their own preferences on uniform, but I think these not terribly fond of. Definitely no to 12 and 13, but 21, 22, 26, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I could go on and on about this, but it's not really a topic that I think warrants that much discussion, because again, everyone's got their own preferences, and that's kind of my opinion on random made uniform stuff. This thing is outputting way more material than I thought it was going to. It can't actually fully output to this thing either. You know what? I think I might need to... You know what? I think we need to set up on... This drill doesn't actually have to be here. This thing will not actually awaken stuff. I need to find a way to sort through all of its items. There's got to be a better way to do this, because it's sitting on 76 different items right now, and it's kind of an issue. So maybe a self-sorting machine would probably help a lot. Because you can see here, there's no steel, but I need to move steel there. So why don't we do this? Why don't we move this? Why don't we put it over here, actually? And then we can just feed it right into our production hub. We could even sort it somewhere and then just pipe it in directly. Because there is a lot of ways to do that. We have access to conveyor belts. Like I'm playing Factorio for some reason. So that's kind of the main thing. So I'm trying to think, could I just pipe in steel into this? I think the other thing is too, it's kind of hard to get our pawns to be able to, you know, willing to move all this. A lot of metals to be moved. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I think this plasma drill definitely requires, like, you know, some way to automate this thing. Something that I probably should have figured out a bit ago, but alas, I did not, and so now I'm being punished for that decision. Thankfully, there's still a lot of steel and other items of note, and we did get access to some more stuff, including a brand new heavy armor, which is exactly what we were looking for, and I forgot to let Garm or Prophet 9 out of this thing. I need to keep this. The list of no is shorter, so that list is... So you're no to 8, 9, 12, and 13. 9 is a waitress uniform, not a maid uniform. That's also true. Yeah, French I never was fond of. Miniskirts, kind of whatever, not terribly fond of that either. Straight up, why are you even bothering with like lingerie or swimsuit variants? Like, there's no point. Okay, who's dying? Exonia's... Oh, shoot, I forgot to let Exonia free. Exonia's been standing there the whole time. He needs to eat. All right. We're also making our reinforced barrels so we can finally get access to more weapons. I think we're still running out of power. Oh my gosh, we are. Even with all this power, it's not enough. What is eating all the power? I really need to find out what's actually eating up all my electricity. This thing's on low power mode. This thing's trying to do that. How do I... What do I even do? Hold on, we're just draining electricity like crazy. The autofabs aren't doing much. Is there a way to check how much power, like what's eating up all my power? I don't think that's a function in this game, is it? No. There's gotta be a way to find out how much power I'm draining. What's eating it all? Let's turn off this cultivator so it's not doing anything. Obviously all the hydroponics are eating up 70 times each. This one's only eating 3,000 a pop. What if I turn it off for now? Just waiting for the geothermal arc, I guess, to be ready. Hello, Immortal. Good evening. How are you? I guess we just have to slap down a few more of these. I am running out of plasteel. I don't want to keep doing this. I don't understand why these advanced wind turbines don't generate nearly enough electricity. Very odd, very strange. Let's see if we can get this power going as fast as possible. Okay, we are net positive again. Now I turned off a bunch of stuff. That's fine. Yeah. I'd hope these solars will at least add a little bit more oomph to our network, as they say. Okay. I think I can turn this back on for now. Let's just let that back on and move things about. But anyways, how are you doing, Immortal? Hopefully you're having a good evening. Welcome to the Rimworld, where we are very much doing our best to survive, and you have done a pretty good job of, well, setting things up and keeping people alive and crafting. Isn't it great? What's casualties unknown? Alright, let me look it up. I don't know all these games. Casualties unknown. Unforgiving cave survival exploration game. Oh boy. Why does this look a lot like Nodia or whatever it was called? It looks a lot like Nodia, but just more techy and less magic-y. Power. We're gonna have our first blackout in a while. Can't really do much about that, I guess. Even with the geothermal arc running max efficiency, there's just no way to minimize the power loss. I think it's just all the hydroponics, honestly. Let's see, so I'm running how many hydroponic bays? 79? 79 times 70. That's actually not that much. It's only 5,000 plus 100. What is actually eating up all my power? Is it this thing? I swear if it's this thing, I don't know. What is eating my power? It's the lights. How many lights do I have? 73 wall lamps would not eat up that much electricity. Yeah, Noita. I probably pronounced it wrong. It's a pretty similar idea, except you're a coughing baby with the potential to become a less coughing baby instead of becoming a tactical nuke. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Let's build some braziers before I forget. Oh, shoot, you're right. I forgot about these things. These things do eat up like 5k a pop. You're right. Let's turn these off for now. I forgot they do consume a lot of electricity. Let's, yeah, let's turn those off temporarily until we can stabilize our power grid. Okay, you're fine. What else is eating up my power? I mean, we have a lot of heaters, but even still, that's 175 a pop. That'd be less than 1,000. I did just downgrade the reactor too, because we upgraded it to geothermal, so you have to go through like this entire thing of getting this upgraded bit by bit. You have to let it run for 15 days, which is insane. Like, that's gonna be a very long time. I'm actually gonna look at the workshop for this mod real quick. I just want to see what the other steps are. Let it run for 15 days straight. Activate steam boost 3 times. Operate 10 days uninterrupted. Then you get the heat powered arc. Or you could try to get to the atomic arc, which is the uranium version. Oh boy. Do we want to go that far? Or do we just want to commit to the Steam one and call it a day once we reach the end of the Steam one? Because a lot of this thing is just like a lot of waiting. A lot of time gates, which is fine, I guess, up to a point, but time gates do get a little obnoxious. Hello, Exonia. Good evening. How are you, comrade? Oh, my neck is killing me too. By the way, look at how much medicine we have now. We have so much medicine. We have so much Nutramine. We could make all the Tylenol in the world. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's bad. Our crops are gonna die, probably. Oh, I don't have a choice. I have to use these. Because this thing literally cannot produce enough power on its own. I mean, I guess we could technically put more steam hubs. I didn't design this base with it in mind. But realistically, yeah, I guess we could slap down more and it would make sense, right? In that case, sure, why not? Why don't we do that? You're right. It could be kind of nice. Yeah, the problem is I didn't design this with that in mind. See, there's like no room. You'd have to put one like on the outermost edges, where I'd have to break these corners up, and that would ruin a lot of my design that I had gone through. So I could maybe put like one extra here at most. There's a 2x2 cube of steam hub work in the center. I'm not sure. There's not really much I can do because the arc reactor is what really matters. You could put a geothermal gen, but there's not a thing to really catch on to. So it's just a matter of, like, again, we're just gonna have to wait. We'll wait until daytime and hope we can fix the power. The wind turbines are kind of like, I don't understand why the advanced ones just don't. No, you do need to build it on a vent. I literally cheated a vent on here. But for all intents and purposes, yes, the geothermal arcs do need, like, to build the arc in the first place, you need a steam vent. Okay, so we're turning things back on, but we're still ripping through our power. The solars are turning back on. Hopefully they'll max out soon. The wind turbines are doing what they can. The mini ones, like, these ones are just broken. I don't know why, and I've given up. I might just uninstall these advanced wind turbines because they just don't do anything. They're actually just useless. Oh, we need more shirts. Okay. Okay, what do we need to do next to ensure our survival? To design a second ring for secondary steam. I could. I don't want to move things is the problem. I could probably put one here, and probably here as well, but then there's like not a lot of room to navigate, so I don't want to push things out of the way. I wish I had thought about that earlier. I thought this would be enough to generate enough electricity for the whole colony, but I was surprised at how much we just straight up consume on a regular basis, and that's kind of like the part that like threw me off. Like, we eat a lot of electricity, and I am running out of plastic, so I have to be a little careful of what we spend it on now until we can buy more. Sadly, there is none that are willing to send us more. I think it's also the turrets. We have a lot of turrets that just eat up power. These heavy turrets are 300 a pop. Worst comes to worst, we could probably set up industrial generators to consume chem fuel if we really need. No, we do not have Rimworld installed. I know exactly what you're considering. We do have access to industrial chem fuel generators. 2400 watts, consume chem fuel. It's not the worst idea to just have like as a backup. We have those regular ones, although these only produce like 1k. But the industrial ones, probably not a bad idea to just have them ready to turn on an emergency notice. We might just do that real quick. Also, these apparently take forever to deconstruct, which is another problem. The wind, I mean, it might be. My guess is that... Oh, wait. Oh, that's why. You're right. Hold on. Wait. No, they're not even in each other's tile, right? Yeah, they're not even in each other's zone. Now, visually, it does look like it, but based on what I'm seeing here, it should not be the case. And I was trying to check this earlier. Like, if I put one over here, I think it runs into the same problem. Where alone, it's just not generating power. So I'm pretty sure these things are just bugged. Well, like, look at this one. This one's just by itself, right? It's not doing anything. See? It's just there, and it's just not doing anything. So I don't know. It's just bugged. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just keep them because I like the advanced ones, but even still, like, this should be functioning. Like, now it functions. It's like, maybe it needs more wind? I don't know. I do keep fusion reactors around, but for this run, I'm trying to avoid it because we normally rely on it for every run. For this themed run, I'm trying to not use it. It's okay. It just means we have to find a way to survive the power crisis, which means it's time to set up a bunch of emergency industrial generators, which I don't really want to put in here, but I need to find a spot to put this somewhere. Emergency power. I guess we can just put it here next to the oh shoot, I forgot I was in God mode. Well, that's fine. We have enough of this. The problem is I don't have a clean spot to put one of these. I mean, I could put one here at the most. It's not going to be clean no matter how, and obviously you can't put one up here. You can put one down here maybe. But I've already built out my hydroponics hub, which I'm like, I don't really want to redo that entire thing. Take away parts of the second layer. I mean, but it's already like built to the wall on a lot of this is the main issue. Yeah, like that's the main thing. Like, I've already built fairly deep in it. Like, I could build here. If it was smaller, I would totally do it, but it's not small. Advanced gens are also a little too big. If it was just like maybe 2 or 3 tiles. I mean, yeah, I could build it here, but I'm trying to hold this in case I need more quarters. Like, I think we're actually short 1 bed. We have, actually no, we're 20 now. Yeah, because we lost someone. That's right. We're fine. Well, production room, there's still more stuff to add here, so I'm trying to leave that open. It's got to be another solution that doesn't involve slamming down another arc. More batteries would probably be not a bad idea. No, so it's 2 rings and then security, because we don't need more than that. I'm just trying to think what else I can do. I mean, we could say that we found another arc hub in here. Would be fine, I guess. Inside of this ice thing. I just wish these worked. You know, the funny thing is I can't build that many more solar generators. I'm running out of plasteel. Plasteel is our biggest issue right now, in addition to all this other stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm running out of space for that. Oh, wait, yeah, I can make normal ones. You're right. I could just make normal ones. Good call. Max 1700. I think realistically, I can probably slam these out, like... What if I just build, like, a giant wall of these? Worst comes to worst, I just dismantle these later on. Yeah, worst comes to worst, I dismantle it and should be fine. Let's, dig this out. So, what is that? 9 times 1700 at most gets me... a little under, maybe 1500 watts of power at max sun. So that's not bad. I do have a lot of steel. I just need to keep remembering to haul the steel out of here. They don't want to haul the steel out. I need to automate this. This is getting a little ridiculous. How many batteries do I need to last the night? If these 16K batteries are fully powered, it would be enough. Now, realistically, I could try building a 256K watt battery, but I don't have a Persona core, so at most I can build 64K batteries, which just require an advanced AI core and a decent amount of plasteel. Otherwise, we can keep building the 16K ones, a little bit of plasteel, maybe add like 2 or 3 more. Maybe I just make a giant battery array somewhere else. This was the utilities room. In fact, it could still be... What if I just do that? What if I do here, here, slam out 2 more, and then these... I don't know, we'll leave the 4Ks there for the time being. No, we generate enough to survive the day. It's just we're running out when it hits nighttime. We're at negative 7.5K right now, and that's with everything running. There is also a lot of lights in the colony, keep that in mind. Like, each of these end tables consume 10 watts, which is not a lot, but, you know, it adds up. Obviously, we have a lot of wall lamps as well, and mostly it's the hydroponics, I think, that's eating it up. Well, I guess the fabricators also consume 200 when they're crafting, which is a decent chunk. These shelves consume, the turrets consume, everything in the colony wants power. Yeah, we don't have enough to cover the night variants yet. We're close-ish, kind of. We can get through about halfway through the night, so if we just add more power generation, I think we'll be okay. Actually, now that we have these, yeah, these things are also on already, so they're already trying to contribute to mitigate the penalty. Have a good night, Garm. I hope you have some good rest. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I'm going to an anime convention this weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to take nice cosplay photos. I know there's one of my friends is into Kigurumi. Maybe I'll see if I can, if he's willing to share some shots of it later. But we'll see how it pans out. I'm excited. I haven't been to an anime con since last year. Anime conventions are fun. I enjoy them because, again, you get to be in that whole vibe of like all these other weirdos being with you in the same room and hanging out. Okay, so we actually do have enough power to survive the night. We did actually survive, and now we are up and running with our power again. Hopefully that'll be fine. Yeah, we'll hope that's fine. There's actually, the other really cool thing is there's actually 2 anime concerts in this anime convention this year, but I can only do one of them. I don't have time to do both. It's basically the choice of, do I want to go to the Idolmaster concert, which has like 6 VAs from Japan, you know, reprising their roles as some of the original Idolmaster characters and singing songs and everything. Or do I want to go to the Kajiura Yuki concert, which is the, you know, the one who did a lot of the music for like Sword Art Online and Madoka. So I was like, well, if I had to choose between the two, I'm gonna go to that second one instead, because I kind of don't care that much about Idolmaster. I think I did when I was younger, when I was in like early college and like hyper weeb. Now I'm just like, yeah, whatever. So you have a friend going to his Momocon? I don't know. That's the one in oh, who's malnourished? Someone was dying. Momocon is that's in Georgia, right? Atlanta, yeah. Yeah, I remember it was like Momo because like Momo for peach, and I know Georgia's like the state of peaches and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, Momocon's big. 60,000 people in 2025. Oh my gosh. So I attend Anime Central. It used to be like the 3rd or 4th largest anime convention, but I think it's kind of lost that that spot to Momocon. Momocon is like way bigger nowadays. And I don't think they ever recovered. I don't think ASEN ever really recovered from COVID. And ASEN's also like a lot smaller, I think, nowadays. It's gotten like a lot more. For example, it doesn't have like VIP passes. Everyone gets the same exact pass, right? I know a lot of anime cons nowadays have like specialty VIP passes that allow you to, you know, attend special events and skip lines, but ASEN's been very firm about not doing that. You gotta get in line like everyone else. That's right. There's no ultra mega premium. You sit with everyone else, and I think that's a really nice way of doing things, I think. Oh boy, this is not ideal. It's not even willing to dump it in there. I don't know what's going on with this. Oh well. We'll just let it keep building. Yeah, we're running out of plasteel. That's fine. We'll try to get more plasteel soon if we can find a trader nearby. Actually, do the traders like us? Can I? They don't really like me. They're not willing to send a orbital trader. Unfortunate. Maybe one day. We have all these things that we could sell them. Look, we have so much crops and all this other jazz. Yeah, see, right now we are at an excess of 45,000 during the day. It's at nighttime where we have to really try to struggle because a lot of our power is solar based. Can't really do much about that, unfortunately. We have to just let this thing run for another 9 days. Good lord. Hopefully it'll run. Okay, I need to plug something in real quick. Give me one moment. So, yeah, my plan is I'm going to go to that anime convention, see if there's anything cool at Artist Alley to represent anything that I enjoy, whether it be anime related or video game related. It's a good question. Where are the other Steam? There's like, oh, this is it. This is the only Steam geyser on the map. Yeah, the map, I think because it's the hard winter, it just will not spawn Steam vents. That's why I didn't build any other Steam geysers. That's right. There's like none other on the map. You could cheat them in, but for all intents and purposes, this is it. This is the one giant stack of Steam. Have a good night, son. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Rimworld adventure. Hopefully you're having fun. Yeah. Good night. Rest well, comrade. Let me check something real fast. Let me get on. There we go. I just need to check something real quick. Mini settlements. I mean, mini settlements would not be a bad idea either. Maybe outposts would also be a very valid choice. I don't know if there's one that makes power. I have to check. I don't think that's a thing. Or is it? I know we have one outpost. I don't think we can change the outpost once it's built, right? Rimworld expanded outpost. Maybe there is a... I think there might actually be one. Oh, no, I know what you're talking about, yeah. Scavenging, drilling, fishing, artillery, and town research factory. Okay, there's not an extra one for power. Just making sure. Yeah. Wacky, tacky, vanilla expanded. I definitely need to start trimming out more of their stuff from my list because it just doesn't really seem necessary a lot of the time. There's a few that are kind of fun to maybe use, like Winston waves, but I care little for most of the factions and whatnot because it doesn't really matter to me. I definitely don't care about the races at all. I know there's like a lot of race mods nowadays that everyone wants, but if I'm picking a race mod, I'm going to be committing to one single race mod for the entire run. And that's kind of the hard part, like picking one that I really jive with, right? Where's the good race mods? Where's my anime race mods that aren't Ayamaduki mods? Because those are quite something. Like the moon rabbits or whatever. It's time that we return back to playing the Kurin. The Kurin are still my favorite, I think, out of all the random ones on the workshop. But boy, a lot of these Rimworld anime mods definitely love adding legs to everything. Maybe we should do a Kurin or Ratkin themed colony. Everyone gets to be a Ratkin or Kurin. That'll be the vibe. I'm sure nothing bad will happen from this type of run. By the way, here's our new power bank system. Hopefully they can get charged up during the day. And then we will expend it all during the night because our generators are working around the clock. There's not much I can do at this point other than just try to add more stuff to the colony. It's just literally it's just a waiting game for the generator to get upgraded, and that's kind of the annoying part. It's just waiting. Like this entire mod is just waiting for things to happen. I'm just gonna cheat this. I'm sick and tired of waiting. I'm actually getting super impatient now. Set running time to 100 days. It's been running for 100 days. Let me upgrade to the vent booster, which will ensure higher efficiency and performance. All right, I would like any one of these people to do it. Let's have where is Ray? Wakey wakey Ray, it's time to get to work and upgrade my steam powered arc. Ranu has been in this colony and watched this arc go from tiny to massive over the course of many moons. It's quite beautiful to behold, truly. Although Ranu hasn't had any learning as of late. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because our childcare workers have been too busy. Yeah, that's probably why. Alright, let's just dump this out here. Yeah, it should be fine. Alright, so here's the upgraded generator. Come on. Any day now. Okay, so this is the... You must activate Steam Boost 3 times. It will enhance the steam flow by activating internal steam pumps, increasing the power output by... for 5 days. The vents will need to be then cooled for a period of time. Okay, so... If I press this button... It's being boosted. And you can only use this once every 15 days. So we have to hold out for at least 3 in-game... At least 2 quadrums, and then we can upgrade it again. I don't think we're gonna do the uranium upgrade chain. I was looking at it earlier, and it's like it's even more busy work of you need to find the nuclear husk, then you need to turn it on, turn it off, then you gotta burn through more uranium, then you gotta run on extreme mode for 60 days, and I'm like, seems a little unnecessary, right? So I think Steam will be the conclusion. Once we reach the end of the Steam chain. So this is currently Steam Power to Start is version 2. So we need to survive about 40 more in-game days, and then I think I will consider the colony completed. I think that'll be fine, right? I think a lot of this point is just like adding more stuff for the sake of doing things. This thing is still, I don't know why this thing's not willing to drop all that. You would think this thing would be able to accept. Hold on. Here are all raw materials. Maybe that way it'll be okay dropping it all in there. Kind of. It did drop a lot of it. Okay, so maybe this is fine. And that should be fine. So we'll let that run, and then now that we have a bajillion units of steel, we can add more hydroponics. Actually, wait, how much power do we have? Let's turn these back on. Let's add more hydroponics. More crops for the crop gods. So we can afford this now. We can just slam all these in here. And that's not where I want it, because you can't rebuild these. Okay, and then we'll add the same design. 1, 2, 3, 4. And while we're doing that, let's have our builders also keep digging out more land for us to add more crop production facilities. Okay, and while we're doing that, let's also add some proper flooring. A lot of these have needed flooring for quite some time, so let's just add some proper floors. We've been waiting a little too long for that type of thing. Okay, not at all what I anticipated. Okay, so I'm gonna select this and that. Okay, we gotta cancel a bunch of these. 'Cause I messed up again. That's fine. You know what I'm gonna end up doing after this anyways? I'm gonna end up playing Final Fantasy 14 for like another couple hours. I don't know what happened, but like ever since I guess I finished Dawn Trail, I've been actually wanting to play more of the funny game, and it's actually been quite a fun experience, like actually getting through the content in Final Fantasy 14. I recommend everyone play Final Fantasy 14. It's a good game. If you're into MMOs. If you're not into MMOs, then I don't know. But if you just start playing, let me know so I can give you a referral code so I can get some free stuff out of it. I know Ray's been getting her friends into playing 14, so every couple nights, like, we're like, all right, time to get on, time to do our dailies. And I'm just like, oh god, it's like a second job. So it's like, I do work, then I stream, and then I play 14. It's like, it's just like 3 different jobs all in one day. Truly the real gamer experience that we didn't need. Okay, perfect. So this is working the way it's intended. We're building everything there. We gotta haul more steel over. Hopefully that gets moved soon. Okay. You know, I think we need someone dedicated to hauling. Problem is I still can't send the sun out there due to the lack of temperature protection, and I believe Ranu has the same problem. Actually, Ranu might be okay outside. It might be a little risky, but it's doable. Well, I think we just try to minimize the risk and don't worry about it. We'll just let this happen. Okay, this is all getting built out. We're getting nice floors. All the builders are working around the clock. Beautiful. All the concrete we could possibly need. And then we'll try to get silver in here. So I know this one's got the... Basically, my goal now is just tidy up the colony so that when we're done, we can have a nice, pretty picture. Right? A nice, pretty picture of all the struggles that we've been through. This is a lot of power. We're burning through all of our chem fuel, but that's okay. Buy traders will have Havel trade. Maybe they have something of note. What do we got? Okay, they got the Scyther blades, don't really care. I think we need to buy all their class steel, which is not that much. That's really all. Oh my gosh. I can't buy the 256k batteries. It's not worth it. I think there's not really much I can offer them, so I'll take what I can get. Sell the tea leaves and the fine promethium. Sell the jade. Nothing else really is worth selling here. Well, you take what you can get, I guess. We'll do what we can. At the very least, I know the pawns will work around the clock, making sure everything's done. Alright, so what are we growing here? I guess we'll figure that out once this is ready. Alright, so return this thing on. We should have enough power to get through the night, as that's what days. So as long as we are above a certain amount, we need 1 colonist to serve for 7 days. Get 16 goodwill or 4 honor. I don't think I care about these royalists. Unless they're gonna give me like crazy powers, which I don't really care about most of the time anyways. I feel like I just completely have ignored the... I feel like I've completely ignored the Psycast mechanic. Oh, jeez. I'm trying to move my iPhone. Hold on. And I don't know if that's like because the design of the mechanic is bad or if it's just not fun to interface with. I don't know. I'm sure everyone's got their own opinion, but I've just never found Psycast to be super engaging, and I just kind of ignore the mechanic most of the time anyways. Maybe I'm the crazy one. All right, what are we growing here? These aren't fully ready yet. Once they're ready, we'll switch the crop to what it needs to be. At least everyone sleeps. Everyone's warm. Everyone's got a bed. If anything, this is probably one of the best colonies. One of the easier colonies we've had. Probably need more light over here, too. Let's add some lights. There we go. And we got our semi-regular shipment of muffalo meat and blue fur. Fine. It's fine. I'm gonna crack my back, too. Okay, I've been drinking a lot. I've been drinking a lot of water again. Let me use the restroom again. I apologize. Hopefully nothing bad happens in the meanwhile. I'm gonna let the game run at 1x speed again. Give me one moment. Alright. Should be fine. I will be right back. Gotta stay hydrated. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, really don't know what I'm supposed to do with this run anymore. It's just literally just expanding it over time because there's only so much you can really do once you've more or less stabilized into this position, other than trying to find a way to make it bigger and better, which turns into a generic city builder, which is fine up to a point, but... Oh shoot, I forgot to run power down here too. We should probably run power down here. Let's do that real quick. That's kind of like the issue right now in this current run. That's usually around the time when I want to end runs, but I want to just see if we can get to the end of this stupid quest chain. But it's so long. Okay, here's my policy. We're gonna skip one of the steam boosts, I think. We'll do one more steam boost instead of all three. And then next week, I think will be the end. I think next week will be the end of the colony. I think that's probably a decent stopping point, if that makes sense. All right, so we're gonna turn these into growing Tintoria, which I think will allow us to make the dyes that we need to paint the floors. I've been meaning to paint some of the floors for quite some time, but you need items for it, and I don't really have the items for it. I wanted to make this black. Well, once that gets built out. So that's gonna be our plan. This is the final week, or this is the penultimate week. Next week will be the final week for this colony, because I think we've gotten to the point where we're generally stable enough, and there's only so much you can do with these pawns. Then we'll figure out a new colony probably the week after. I'm not sure what the theme will be. If anyone's got suggestions, I'm all ears. But right now I'm kind of leaning towards maybe a specific horror race themed colony. I think I mentioned Ratkin the other day because I'm like, all right, let's see what the Ratkin's all about. Maybe I'm missing something about like why everyone is obsessed with playing Ratkin, you know? So that'll be a potential option, one of the many potential options. Also, part of the problem is that my TPS is cratering. I'm only getting 130 TPS at max speed. I cannot make this go any faster. And I'm pretty sure it's because, one, we have a lot of pawns. That's probably the main reason. I'm pretty sure if I check the performance analyzer, I'm sure it'll say something like, yeah, you got too many pawns going on, buddy. Kind of execute some of them. Usually it's like the drivers and probably all the different things like the industrial devices that we have are probably causing a bajillion issues. So I'm not... The colony is starting to break under its own mass. I think one exit runs fine. 2 exits okay. Barely. Actually, it can't even max out at 2x either. Yeah. You know, it's just too much. Too much, I think. To be fair, that's kind of what happens when you have like a lot of stuff anyways. I think Rimworld is not designed to handle this level of insanity. I think also because you have more... I think these work orders, because I ordered so much, is probably what's eating up a lot of the TPS as well. So maybe once that gets all filled in, it'll become a little bit better. I think that's how this works. And that's annoying. That's fine. Just let this all get built out, and it shouldn't be too much of an issue. We'll dismantle that, and we'll see if that eases up a lot of the FPS tension. I think if you zoom into it, probably eases up a little bit. Yeah, there's not much I can do. There we go. Just drop all that in there. Perfect. But I'm at least pleased with how far this colony has come. I think it's quite pretty. And also just full of, you know, stuff that helps. Give me 1 second again, sorry. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. So anyways, yeah, we'll do, we'll figure it out. But I'm thinking we might try Ratkin. But if you got any suggestions, I'm all ears. There's so many different choices nowadays. Oh, don't worry, Rana. We'll try to get... You'll be a big ol' adult by the time the colony's over. For sure. We'll force you to become an adult one way or another. You'll be 13 by the time the colony ends, which means you don't even get to buy your final set of... You don't get to buy your final set of... whatchamacallit? Traits that you've been waiting for so long. That's kind of the problem with having a child pawn in these runs, huh? You just kind of are there, but you're not able to do much beyond that. Aging in Rimworld is slow. What can I say? Aging is a slow, graceful thing, not a fast, speedy Gonzalez experience, right? You gotta just go with the flow, go with the vibes. Let's make sure all the toilets are working. Oh man, I wish my toilet had a bidet. I'm trying to think why. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I am out of. I am 3. Yeah, I'm out of plasteel. That sucks. He didn't die. We also didn't give you a weapon. Umi didn't die either because Umi said, "Don't give me a weapon." So if you basically requested to not have a weapon, your chances of being alive quite high. And that's also the case that happened here. You survive by not having a weapon the whole time, because apparently if you're a kid and you don't have a weapon, you're not allowed to be attacked. There we go. Just keep laying down that concrete. Beautiful. Love to see it. All right, we'll let that happen, and then hopefully our dyes will grow. Oh, that's why we're not growing in here. I forgot. This room is frozen solid and requires additional heating apparatuses. Yeah, that might be important. Let's make sure this room is nice and warm. Yeah. Okay, that should be fine. Let's just let this rip through, and this should be okay. Let's also get more research going. What else do we want to research at this point in the game? I guess networked artillery and networked shields are fun, even if it's completely unnecessary at this point. Why not just put a giant shield barrier over the generator so it will never be destroyed? That's fun. You know, I can probably do this. We'll do calibrate efficiency to get another 5% bonus off of this thing, or 1% bonus. And then at this point, it's just, where do we get more plasteel? I don't know. This thing doesn't get plasteel, by the way, which is kind of annoying. It only finds metal. I think it doesn't find plasteel, right? Yeah. I mean, there is a small chance. Okay. There's a pig. Oh, wait, there is a way to get plasteel. Hold on. There's right. I do remember metal refining technology gets you access to a metal refiner, which will then allow you to convert, well, metal into plasteel through polymer lamination, which I assume requires some amount of chem fuel. So I think we actually prioritize metal refining and try to get that up and running so we can just, we will truly never run out of resources if we do that. Then we'll be good to go forever. And that will be the most overpowered aspect about all of this. Having infinite plasteel, which will probably just dump the production here. We probably don't need this wind turbine anymore. Now that all of our solars and winds are running around the clock, we could put down some of these, but I think I'll hold on to that for now. Okay. So these, in theory, should keep this room warm. Okay, we're gonna set all these. Okay, we're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. Set these up 2 more steps, so they're 40. Am I missing something? Okay, temperature seems to be correcting now that the heaters are on, and then once it's warm enough, we'll grow the crops as needed. We're also missing one here. And so the top will be Tinctoria, and I think I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, Tinctoria, and the bottom stack will be, oh, we could do blaze bulbs. Maybe not blaze bulbs. What if we do coffee? We force our colonists to drink coffee and tea on a daily basis. We could also just grow corn, potatoes and produce large quantities of alcohol. Hops, I guess, for beer? Yeah, why don't we do beer? I think our colonists deserve something to drink. They've been suffering all this time. They need alcohol. They need something to keep themselves happy. After all this struggle, they deserve it. So let's get a beer garden going soon enough, and I have to figure out what is the production chain to make alcohol, because I don't remember. I think I was actually planning on making some of this like alcohol production, and then it just got completely sidetracked and it never happened. And so that's why we never produce alcohol in any meaningful quantities. It's like after a point. Oh my goodness, give me 1 second. I need to like move things around. Okay. Okay, what happened here? Why is there a second ice age? Wait, what? Okay, so first of all, there's a space battle. Why is there a second ice age? Is this gonna cause a problem? There's 2 ice ages happening at the same time, and I'm very concerned. I don't think that's supposed to happen. So right now we got volcanic winter, forced weather, and double ice ages. I'm concerned. Am I a fan of I'm not really. Most of the alcohol I drink is like a strong 0 or anything fruity, basically. Like, I like highballs, or lemon sours are like my favorite. But I've been thinking maybe I should learn how to drink whiskey at some point, but I'm not terribly fond of the taste of liquor. That's really like my thing. Hello there, Schnabelfachkraft. Ice Age Squared. Exactly, it is really Ice Age Squared. I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly. I think I can actually turn off the chem fuel generators. I think these can be disabled for now. We should have enough to survive for the time being. And that should be fine. We actually are growing way too much rice. Like, I'm actually surprised at how much rice we've been able to grow. To the point where I don't need most of this, and I should probably convert more of it to fuel. But even then, that's not necessary either. Next boost is in 13 days, yeah. God, I'm still only getting 150 TPS, 160. Yeah, we're definitely doing a new colony after next week. This colony's reached the end of its lifespan. I don't know what's causing it to slow down. Is it really worth trying to figure it out? I don't know. Like, I guess we can try to take a look. Like, what's eating up all the, yeah. PowerNet Manager is eating up a lot of, average. Okay, so that's pretty slow. What about our needs? Doesn't really matter that much. Pathfinding seems to be generally okay. Don't really care about that. I don't know. Oh, space battle's happening. Okay, politics. That's the job givers. Yeah, look at that. The needs trackers and those job trackers. So there's... Actually, are you supposed to only let pawns do 1 or 2 jobs at a time? I have no idea if you're supposed to specialize that much, but whatever. I think we really need to, like, limit how many pawns are in our future colonies. I think 20 starts to break down. Maybe we'll keep it at, like, 15 at most. Should be a decent amount, and when someone dies, we can get someone else in. There's people that are dying. I guess I could rescue them. Sure. I'm not a heartless soul. I'll rescue that poor person who's out there. Also, I forgot, all these corpses, too. I think it's the fact that these have just been sitting here and not being ripped apart or decaying is probably not making things any better, so something to keep in mind. Probably need to burn through those corpses at some point. We should also open this door up. Yeah, I think every single item that's here is like deteriorating, but it's tracked independently of everything else. That's why it's taking forever. Like, I'm pretty sure if I destroy all these corpses, let's do that real fast. We're just gonna start destroying corpses. It probably would make the game run just a little bit faster when it's not calculating the independent deterioration of all these corpses, right? Probably. Yeah. I think so. I think my TPS is actually recovering a little bit now that I've... Because, unfortunately, it's frozen, so it's going to be very hard for them to deteriorate. Yeah, it actually did go up a little bit. Wow. Okay, that's all I had to do. Oh my goodness. There's more dying people. You rescue this one, and I don't know, I guess we should try to rescue all of them. I'm not heartless. Mortal rescue that one, and we'll have... your name's all the way here. Go rescue that one named Doom. How many more people are falling from the sky? There's another one over there named Jen. Let's rescue that one. Oh my goodness. We're not a hotel. We're not a hospital. But I'm not cruel enough to leave them behind. Alright. Let's see what we can do. At the very least, this should be a lot of resources. I believe ship chunks do dismantle into plasteel, if I remember correctly. Alright, that one died. Hypothermia. There's another one up there. That one should be okay. Let's have Immortal grab that one. Come on. Come on. Keep them alive. Oh my goodness, they're all dying. Blood loss, blood loss. Okay, so we rescued them, but we didn't actually tend to them for some reason. Okay. Oh. Can't keep everyone alive, I guess. Okay, will this one survive, or will this one die as well? Okay, you gonna tend? Okay, I think they'll all live. Also, can I designate this as a surgery bed? Probably not. Okay. I need to put these vitals monitors. I could put a vital center. This does not reach all the beds. So I would need 2 minimum, 1 on each side like this, and that would reach all of them. I guess that's fine. Probably. Is it stupid? Yeah, probably. 30 plasteel is not cheap. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We actually don't need that after all. I don't need it. We'll work with what we got. We'll work within the confines of our resources. Okay. Yeah, the thing with this, everything being slower is that it's harder for this thing to tick up faster. 12 more days. It's like 1 day is about 10 minutes now. So we need to do at least 20 days next week, and then we could say we've accomplished our goal in the colony, and that's maximizing that 1 generator. Tenoria takes how long to grow? A decent amount of time. Okay. Since we have enough concrete, we're gonna try to flesh out the rest of the concrete area. Everything is concrete. Who needs ice? Also, mostly because the walk speed does get affected. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, walk speed does get affected pretty badly. I'm gonna select this, cancel that. I think this is gonna lag the game again, or kill our TPS due to all the work order givers. Oh yeah. Ooh, we're cratering down to... Well, 160 is probably okay. That's fine. There we go. Maybe except this section. This section I don't want, actually, to be all that. Mostly because I still fully expect to turn this into additional bedrooms at some point. So for that, I will keep that open. But everything else, better grab that concrete. We got a lot of concreting to do. This area's not even... There's too much snow, too. We can only do so much. Anyways, tomorrow we'll do Xenonauts 2 again, and then I have to decide what I'm gonna do on Wednesday and Thursday. I think we're just gonna do a poll. We'll see what options there are that people will like, and I think we'll try to make maybe Wednesday another tycoon / money centric, you know, business simulation type game thingy, and then Thursday will be the grab bag of here's a bunch of games that I'm vaguely interested in. Which one do you want to see? We could do Ruse again. I did like Ruse a lot, but I'm not sure. It's a good game. So we'll see. We'll see. 1 second. I need to... Wait, I played Ruse earlier. Yeah, I played it last week. Ruse is one of my favorite RTS games of all time. So when they announced that, hey, it's back on the market, you can buy it again, I was like, well, I know what I'm streaming in honor of my favorite RTS ever. I was like, all right, we're gonna play Ruse. So I did like a bunch of the challenge maps, and I did like a single player multiplayer match on D-Day map. It is like my favorite strategy game. I have like hundreds of hours on it on PS3, and I bought it on PC, but I didn't play it as much on PC. And then, yeah, exactly. I was also crying like silent tears of happy joy. It's such a good game, and I encourage everyone to just buy it. But we're never gonna get a Ruse 2. I was always hoping that we'll get a Ruse 2 with boats and, you know, naval landings and all that, but we never did. And, you know, I guess that's to be expected. You know, they can only do so much. But one day Ruse will return in its full proper glory. And when that day comes, we'll get Ruse 2. Actually, they come back. We'll get Ruse 2 one day, I hope. But I think they're too busy working on Steel Division 2 as their, you know, World War II game. And it's fine. I was never fond of Steel Division personally, myself. So, you know, if you like it, more power to you. But I just was never fond of it. I tried to like it, but Are they still working on Steel Division 2, actually? Are they still adding more content to this? Let me check. Came out in 2019. Latest thing they added was the Battle of Durka Pass, which came out September 8, 2020. Yes, they are still adding more content to this. Good lord. Maybe we should give this another shot. Maybe I'll put a Steel Division on the docket. See if people are vaguely interested in Steel Division 2. I don't think I own Steel Division. Oh, I do have it. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll put Steel Division 2 on the dock and be like, is anyone interested in seeing this? If not, we'll just play something else. If so, okay. Also, I got 2 new victims. Their names are Kim and Doom. I don't really want to keep them, so I might shove them to the outposts because they are really not necessary in the colony and they are just cratering my TPS. So once Kim is up and running, we're going to send them far, far away to a land where the sun doesn't shine because the sun is not shining no matter where they are, unfortunately. But yeah, I assume, based on how you're reacting, you played a lot of Ruse as well. It's a good game. Like I said, fantastic stuff. Okay. Let me drink this. To the farm. Exactly, they're going to the farm upstate. When you were little? Oh. Okay. Alright, let's see. Who are we? I will say the one issue that the console versions had was that they were like, you know, unit limited. Like you were capped at 60 units, which was really unfortunate, but it made you have to think about how you're going to allocate those 60, you know, slots. And then once the PC version came out and you had unlimited unit slots, it's like, oh, yes, it's so good. It's peak. And that's what made it very, very enjoyable. All right, this is probably enough there. All right, who am I rating today? Okay, so Rimworld update. Basically, we've gotten pretty far. The Steam Arc generator needs a little bit more oomph to it, which is not ideal, but we're trying to find a way to get this running. We're also trying to get more concrete everywhere so that at least our floors look nice and pretty, but that's going to be a whole nother issue as well. So that's going to be one of those long-term projects that we're going to slowly work on. We have our second hydroponics bay producing dyes and hops, so maybe we can make some beer. And then obviously we have a lot of steel now, but power still seems to be a problem. Now next week is probably the finale for this run. I think I'm done with this colony. I think I've done everything that I've been terribly fond of doing aside from getting to the next stage. So hopefully we can get through 20 in-game days to complete the run. That'll be next week, finale. And then we'll do a new colony the week after that. I'm gonna look at who's alive right now. Could raid May, I guess. What is she playing? She's playing some Repo? Sure. Let's raid May. She's a good lass. Alright, comrades, I hope you enjoyed the Rimworld. We'll be back on the morrow with the Xenonauts and the explosions that come along with the Xenonauts, and hopefully it will not be a painful experience, although knowing me, it's probably going to be a very painful experience. So hopefully you still have fun, and hopefully I still have fun. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say as my goodbye. I don't have anything super exciting. Hopefully, again, you enjoy, etc., etc., etc. Don't die on me, blah blah blah. All right, good night. I'm going to go acquire more music for my music device. Good night, goodbye, rest well, etc., etc., etc. Thanks for joining on Rimworld, and may the Humanity Restoration Society grow ever stronger, with all of the humans that it's managed to collect under its watchful gaze. All right, good night.